I think you're gonna kill my stream yard.
Where are you from, Corona? Watch your way. Where are you from, Corona? Oh, where are you from, Corona? People are dying all over the world. People are crying all over the world. How come? How come? It's me everywhere. They say there's no solution.
Not too late tonight, please. I've got a 3-hour talk tomorrow morning.
It's me everywhere. They say there's no solution, but we will conquer Corona. Listen, divine intervention, they are praying every nation. It's only salvation and there's no solution. The praying free debate, I got to put together. We gotta join our hands and win this battle. Together we'll reign, together we'll stand and win, and win. Together we'll reign, together we'll stand and conquer Corona. Where are you from, Corona? 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 Hey, watch out, Africa, Asia, America, we are one. Europe, Australia, Antarctica, we are one. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, China, America, Italy, we are one, we are one. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, China, America, Italy, we are one. Yeah. Where are you from, Corona? 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 Where are you from?
Oh, wow.
Where are you from, Corona? Watch our way.
Morning, Alicia.
Africa, Asia, America, we are one. Europe, Australia, Antarctica, we are one. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, China, America, Italy, we are one, we are one. Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, China, America, Italy.
Oh my Lord. All right, Ben, what's up?
What's up? Not a great deal. Thank you, Casey. Morning, Julie. Hello, Alicia.
Did you just say KC? Hi. Oh, man. Okay, all right. You can take over. Hi, everybody. How are you? So today, guys, we actually thought would have a few questions about. Sorry, we came late here. Oh, so they're saying it's morning in the UK. Julie might get anything in the UK, and those in Zimbabwe it's morning time as well. It's evening over here, 7:44 p.m. I think UK is 8:44 a.m. God. So, guys, you can ask anything to do with COVID-19 today, but also Ben has got a presentation on STIs. Just like it's gonna be not like a too detailed one. You're gonna be running people through some slides, right, Ben? But
I've got far more than I ever need, but we'll see how it goes. We won't get through them all tonight, I'm certain, but we'll see how it goes.
Is it not
but
like 200?
Well, whatever people would like. Mm-hmm.
So if you've got questions about COVID-19, this morning we were having a chat, Ben, about like I went to the GPs yesterday with Tanaka, and nearly everybody was wearing a mask, and I didn't bring a mask. And I was like, if they ask me for a mask, I'm gonna tell them about how Black Lives Matter. So fortunately, when I walked in, the pharmacist wasn't wearing a mask. And one of the receptionists also, they were not wearing a mask. And I thought, oh, what the heck? Do I have to, worry about like going to look for a mask now when I'm already here? So I just walked in and they looked at me. Have you got a mask? I said, no. So I thought maybe they would offer me one. You'd think they would offer you one.
They should have.
Yeah, but no, they didn't. So they put themselves at risk from this Black African woman. So I walked in with my son. Both of us, we didn't have masks. Oh, okay. I think we've been exposed already. So you could see that everybody was kind of like really trying to avoid sitting next to us. And I was like, praise the Lord. I actually don't really want to sit next to you right now. So, but you'd think in cases like those, they would treat you really fast to get rid of you. Just like, when I see somebody coming to my center with a cough, I want to treat people with coughs really fast. So if you think I'm in high risk of spreading something to you, treat me quickly and get rid of me before I pass on what I have. You know what I mean? But they were so not, concerned about it.
Right. There's more, the biggest number of infections from a GP practice come from the waiting room. And the most transmissible microbe is respiratory infections, as you were saying. And so the sooner you attend to people that have a cough and get them out, the fewer people will be infected waiting in the rest home. So you're absolutely right. It's also important, I think, to always remember wearing the mask, as it's called, flattens the curve. So there's not so many at the same time in a given area. However, when you flatten the curve over, say, a year, the same total number of people will come down with COVID infection. So it's just a management tool only by wearing a mask. At some stage, everyone's going to be exposed to it. About half the people that are exposed to it will never get any clinical symptoms. They'll never get a cough or anything else. And I think I've discussed before with COVID, Africa seems to have rather a low number compared to most of the rest of the world. And some of that may be not doing as much testing, but it's pretty certain it is a low number because we know how many deaths there are. Deaths are nearly always recorded, so we know how many deaths there are. One of the main reasons, I think there's two reasons why Africa may have comparatively little. One is the average age of Africans is something like 25. Yep. And most of the rest of the world, including in the industrialized, more wealthy countries, the over half the population, the average age might be 55 or something like that. So younger people get off any or the vast majority of serious effects from COVID compared to any other age group. And Africa is a young, vibrant country, so comparatively few people will get it. Wearing masks will slow down you catching it now, but you're still going to be exposed to it one way or the other over the next year or two. You may well not get ill with it, and if you're under 60, it's just really bad luck if you get a really bad dose of it. Most people do not when you're under 60, and many of them will have no symptoms at all, but you get immunity when you've caught it. Anyway, any questions? Just text them in to Casey.
What's the story at the moment, Ben, in New Zealand? I know Tatinda says that when she's going to school, she's not allowed on the train if she's not wearing a mask. So she's the only one who's finishing our surgical masks here, because she needs a mask when she hops on the train every morning. But you can imagine how much it costs for to get I mean, I get them for free. That's fine. But the thing is, for an ordinary person, you've got a kid hopping on the plane, or not on the plane, on the train like every day, and they need a mask. For me, I would say she needs a fresh mask every day because she's gonna wear it like going to school, and I make her use the same one coming back anyway. But practically,
she really only needs 2, maybe 3 masks. In actual fact, if you don't mind me saying, because your daughter has had COVID, because there was a school outbreak some months ago, then she will have immunity, and so she doesn't need to wear a mask. Having said that, the population in general do not understand that. So for consistency, the train people and the bus people would say, no, you must wear a mask, even though she has no risk of it at all. So she could wear the same mask every day. She's not going to catch it again anyway.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just the idea of like that rule of like saying they have to wear a mask. And I understand why, but at the same time, it's like for people, okay, if they don't know about this stuff that we're talking about, they're gonna have to, it costs them how much? Because I went to the pharmacy yesterday when I was thinking like, I forgot the masks, should I go and buy one? And I thought, no way, I'm not spending money on this. It was like nearly $80 for a box of masks, the surgical ones. And I thought, wow, should I spend money? Yeah, like $70-something and some cents, and round it off to $80 for a box of masks.
Just make a cloth one. Just make a simple cloth one.
I'm not making that, Ben. I don't have time for that. You know that. I'm not making that. What for? What for?
One of your listeners will send you one.
It's fine. It's fine. They can send me one, but it then means I have to wash it how many times? Because I'm not going to be wearing the same thing morning, evening.
COVID virus on a absorbent surface like a cloth or a mask will generally die. The virus will die in 1 to 2 days. So you only need 2 masks.
Yeah.
You only need 2 masks. And to tend to your daughter, because you know she's had it, it doesn't even matter if her mask has got holes in it, because she's not going to catch it again.
So I not bring that anyway. Chances of catching it again are very high, are very low. I mean, we've only had one case, I think, one confirmed case that caught it more than once. So that means, are they coming close to verifying that that's actually what happens with COVID-19? If you catch it, you're unlikely to catch it again. I mean, it's been 10 months now.
I just slip in a slight change. You're quite right. You're unlikely to catch it again, at least for 9 months. And at least for 9 months. There are always exceptions to the rule, but the person who's well described as having caught it again, he had no symptoms when he caught it the second time. So he had no symptoms. You don't mind catching something again if you get no symptoms, but he had no symptoms. So it looks as though, and that's out of, there's almost 30 million people have caught COVID now, and there may have been some more that have caught it again, but it hasn't been documented. But the chances, at least for 9 months, essentially almost zero of catching it again.
What's the situation like at the moment in New Zealand? I haven't been following the news. I just know our elections got postponed. We are on level 2.5, whatever that means. That's why I'm just like, I'm over it right now.
That's right. And what's interesting, I think, is with COVID in New Zealand, we're very, very frightened of having any cases. And so we've done, on the one hand, really well, while the rest of the world gets immunity. We have none. And so at some stage, unless a magical vaccine should happen to turn up and happen to be available for all of our population, and we've got a low chance of getting it because we don't have a need compared to other countries. So on fairness, it's a bit, we're caught out. We don't have a need because we don't have cases, so we may have more trouble getting hold of it. But it would need to be 80 or 90% effective, and 80 or 90% of the population would need to take it, have the vaccine, and it would need to last maybe for a year. And we don't know if it's 1 shot or 2 shots. So personally, I'm against the common trend out here. I think we should just start letting it go through.
I think so. Like about the Swedish, let me just address this first. Julie Maijeren says the numbers are getting high here. She's in the UK. We might get another lockdown. Masks are now compulsory only when you are on buses, trains, and supermarkets. And I mean, in New Zealand, you will find that most people are actually just wearing masks in the supermarkets and everywhere. I think it's the crazy ones that actually, like with me, honestly, I go for my run. I go to the supermarket. I'm just like, I need to breathe. I need to breathe. If I'm to catch it, let me catch it now than later. If I'm to die anyway, let me die now, or let me catch it now than later. And that's it. And I think I actually caught it when my daughter was here. But at the same time, UK, I think they're on level 4. My Jaden confirmed that. I think I heard someone this morning saying that they've just announced level 4 for you guys, or are planning to go on level 4, which is crazy, man. Like,
well, no, we have to bear in mind. Thank you, Julie, and thanks, Katina, for saying Julie's in United Kingdom, because when a large, we'd call it flattening the curve, which is why you go into lockdown, when too many people start coming down with it, the health services can't cope anymore. So we have to slow it down for a while, put the brakes on for a while, and then the harder we put the brakes on, the sooner this spike in numbers comes to an end, and then we all relax and away it goes again. And it's going to keep going away again each time we relax until everybody's been exposed to it. So I reiterate that United Kingdom is having a large number of cases at the moment. So if everyone was to turn up to a hospital, the hospital would struggle to cope, and it couldn't. People would just have to stay home. But over a year, about the same total number of people will have caught it. By wearing a mask, we're just managing, flattening the curve and spreading the numbers out. So rather than everyone getting it over 2 or 3 months, they'll get it over 1 year to 18 months. That's the only difference. We're all going to be exposed to it in due course. The hospitals do a fantastic job, but in actual practice, in terms of a percentage, not that many lives will be saved. Most people that die of COVID would have died anyway within the next 12 months of their other underlying health conditions. It's a bit of a harsh way to say it. I mean, the average age may be 80 years old, and that's where the bulk of the deaths are. And so we all have to die of something. And when we get older, we're more likely to die. And COVID may move it forward 6 months or a year, but that's where the bulk of the deaths are in that age group. Under 63-year-olds comparatively can hit hard like a bad flu, but most people will have no symptoms, and those that have symptoms, most will be light to moderate. But yep, you're on level 4. It's a full. I've got a son in London, and it's full lockdown. He's lucky he can work from home, and he is. But yep, you'll all be exposed to it, as will I. Personally, because I'm 65, I'd sooner catch it now.
Finally, you are admitting that you are 65, Ben. Praise the Lord. Okay, carry on.
Because I'm 65, just in case you didn't hear, Casey, because I'm 65, I would sooner catch it now than in 3 years' time. My chances of survival are high. I don't have any high blood pressure, and I'm not obese, and I'm fit and healthy, and I eat well. So I'd probably have a 99.8 at least % chance of surviving if I caught it, which is good enough odds for me.
All hands.
I'd sooner catch it now than in 3 years' time. I've got a higher chance of survival. And I'll have a drink of water to that.
Are you drinking water today?
Pardon?
Are you drinking water? Not.
I am.
Not some heavy stuff.
No, it's just water tonight, I'm afraid. I should have got a wine. So any other questions on? Does that make sense, Julie? So we're having a managed series of outbreaks around the world. The United States essentially just said, let it rip, and it's roaring through. And you can't get everyone, they're libertarians there, and you can't get everyone to obey, especially when the president's encouraging them to spread it. if I was cynical, I would suggest that the president saying spread it, spread it, spread it, to try and get the outbreak over and done with as soon as possible, even though it causes chaos. And then come election time in 6 weeks or whenever it is, he can say, you see, it's all behind us now and we can get up and get working again, and hope he may get more votes for it. But time will tell. Yes, any other questions? Nothing coming in there?
Not at the moment. Okay, so we can possibly move on. Hey, I'm okay. I'll talk about New Zealand later. But we were going to talk about HIV and all the other STIs, right? We had a topic on HIV.
Casey asked me about 5 hours ago, could I talk on sexually transmitted diseases or sexually transmitted infections, STDs or STIs. And so I've been scouring the literature for African papers on your STIs, STDs, and I've quickly put some slides together, but I've got some other ones too. So I pre-warn you, later on, if I get that far, there'll be some slides. Some of them are, if I get that far, some of them are a little bit graphic clinically. I just, in case anyone's offended by that or has trouble, I just point that out now. It's not a particularly charming topic, but it's a very, very essential topic, and it's something that's often not discussed or talked about nearly enough. And in relationships and such like, people don't want to raise it, don't want to talk it, and yet it's everywhere. STIs, STDs are everywhere, and parts of them, like human papillomavirus, are almost part of normal flora. I mean, sex is there's some religious connotations and such like, but overall, when two people love each other, it's it should be something that's really, really nice and wonderful, but we can manage any of the downside possibilities that may come with it. We can largely manage those along the line as well. But
okay, Ben, can you try and do this from there? Can you see Julie May Jaden from your end?
Yes, I'm just reading another one from my main concern now is the schools are still open.
Do you want to highlight that one from your end? I just want to see if you can control it from there.
Yeah, do you want me to open up my PowerPoint?
That comment, are you able to just open that comment from there to make it go on the screen? No, the comment from here.
That over there, comments. Yep. Just do it.
I can see your cursor there. If you can just click it so that it can come up on the screen.
Comments. No, I don't think it's going to when I do comments.
Are you on stream yet?
On the screen, see if I can get it. Slideshow.
No. Okay, all right.
Yep.
No, it's okay. You're gonna kill the stream for me. All right.
So, can you see? You can see my slide.
I can see your slide. Can you see that comment?
Oh, I can't see any comments at all. No, I just screen of slide, nothing else.
Do you want to escape?
Yep, I'll escape if I come back to see the comments. Just let me know if any come up and interrupt me, please. So this afternoon when I looked up, I know Africa
There's a comment, Ben. That's what I'm saying. So she's saying my main concern, blah, blah, blah. If you can see that one.
My main concern, yes. Now, as the schools are still open, some schools are closed because some students tested positive. I think we have to keep this in perspective. With what we know now, I think in the United States, for instance, there's more chance of a child dying in the school bus from an accident than dying of COVID. We just have to get these proportions absolutely dead right. And children, unlike influenza, seem to get a serious infection really, really rarely. Not many people die on a school bus in an accident. And accidents happen in this world, but there's not many. It is interesting, there's some published papers to show people actually, children catch it and have the virus, but we don't know yet how much they're involved in transmission. But they certainly clinically do not, they're hardly, in the percentage terms, effect might be 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 100,000. There's very, very low numbers, and it's equivalent to other infections that people, or other accidents that people have. Okay, that the only question there on the COVID. Anything else on the COVIDs?
I'm just waiting for this lady to come on. She's in Australia, and you know what? She says that she works casual work. She's a casual worker, but she's also a student, I think nurse or something, or she's in EN. But what has been happening is this place where she works, where they're asking them to get routine testing. Like she says, it's traumatizing so much that she's getting headaches. I don't understand why they're doing that. She's in Melbourne, and they seem to be asking them to get tested. So she goes home, she gets a call to say, we're testing everybody for COVID now, drive and come to work, and they go and they poke them, and then they come back the following week again. I don't know how often it's happening, but I hear her saying, I've been called to come in for another COVID test. I've been called in to come in nearly probably every week. So it doesn't make sense. Like, why is that?
I agree. I mean, Australia's trying to do what New Zealand's done to keep it out, ultimately until a vaccine comes, but that may be 5 years. And I was very aware with the latest, we had a little outbreak in Auckland where Katina is. There's a little outbreak up there, and everyone got really frightened. But I must say that the New Zealand could only afford maybe one more full level 4 lockdown for 2 reasons. One, financially, it's a huge cost to the country, and actually 2, a large part of infection control is behavior, and people are getting sick of it. As it happens, I never use the app when I'm going places. I think I just as sooner it spread through the country. But people everyone thought they did very well the first time, the 4 or 5 weeks complete lockdown in New Zealand. Did well, thought it was all behind, it was all over, but it's never going to be like that. You can never keep this virus out. So in England or Australia, you can cut down. Melbourne had a really large run of it. I think there are over 198 facilities came down with it. And it's awful at the time, but it's going to happen one day or another, unless faster than any vaccine's ever been available before, there's a available, effective, safe, working well vaccine arrives. And there's a lot of ifs in there. So the carnage around the world that this has caused, political and social, people losing their jobs. We know that the more money that's available in a society, the wealthier it is, the more lives are saved, more people are working, the better insulated the houses, people have houses, they're not crowded, the wealthier it is. The poorer a country is, the worse the health outcomes. And so to save, dare I say, relatively few lives from COVID, which is an awful illness, but relatively few lives, it's at the expense of a greater number of lives in other areas in our society. That's my view on it anyway. And you're quite right with in New Zealand, I've got a laboratory, non-medical as it happens, laboratory up accredited to also do saliva testing, because the nasal swab, per nasal swab, is quite traumatic, and it's just not very nice. So you're more likely not to volunteer to say, actually, I'm feeling a bit off today, because you're going to get one of these awful nasal swabs. Whereas there are now saliva tests that are available. So just a swab of the tongue or mouth is just about, some studies show it's more accurate, some show it's slightly less, but it's about equivalent to a nasal one. And saliva one is not traumatic at all. And I think we should be doing the saliva test now. Bearing in mind that all of these tests, nobody actually knows how accurate they are. And they miss between maybe 5 and 30% of actual cases. 5 to 30% of actual cases they miss. which is actually quite high for a so-called gold standard test. Can we ask anything to do with health, Casey? I'm not sure if Casey's still there, but yes, you certainly can.
Yes, I'm here, Ben.
She's popped back.
Anything to do with health? Yes, you can, Julie, my Jaden. Anything at all. This is like an open. What should we call it? Question and answer segment. You can ask anything. If he can answer, he will answer. 65 years, dude. Like that's like 6 decades, nearly 7. He's got so much to share. So feel free to ask anything. And
very happy. Nothing will offend us. Or some things might offend Casey.
Yes, you can. If anyone wants to join in the stream, please feel free to do so. That's the stream right there. In case you want to verbally ask Ben something, just feel free to do that. Okay, Ben, carry on, please.
Yep. So, is Julie going to ask a question? Is it going to see if that text is coming through or not from Julie my Jaden? If you, otherwise, I'll start in the STDs, STIs. Just I'll wait a second, see if anything comes through. What the other question was? Nothing coming through. I'll start off talking with today. I can't hear you, Casey. Did you silence?
Okay, Casey? Sorry, I was on mute. I was just taking a call. Yes.
Yes. So after Casey asked me in New Zealand time this afternoon, I started putting my head down all afternoon and read on the literature. And I think, I can't remember what it was now, about 20 million cases of HIV in Africa, mainly in the east and south of Africa. 20 million cases of HIV and about 800,000 new cases of HIV virus, new infections every year in Africa, mainly in the east and in the south of Africa. So about 800,000 new cases. And I thought, while I was there, I should, which is the bulk of those in the world, I might add, the bulk of cases are in Africa. While I was there, I thought I'd look up at the same time. There's a bacteria called chlamydia, and chlamydia is very common in most of the rest of the world, including New Zealand. It's sort of ranges from 3 out of 100 to 20 out of 100 people carry it, especially in, say, 16 to 30-year-olds, sexually active 30-year-olds, and very, very prevalent. Many people do not have symptoms with it. So I thought, oh, I wonder how much is in Africa. And there was about, I think it was something like 10 million new cases a year of chlamydia in Africa, if I remember correctly, 10 million a year. So 800,000 new HIVs, but about 10 million new chlamydia infections. And generally, Neisseria gonorrhea, which is another bacteria one, I didn't look that up specifically, but in New Zealand, there's about 1/10 of the chlamydia rate as Neisseria gonorrhea. And they're increasing around the world. Maybe something like COVID perhaps will slow some of these transmissible infections down, because when people lock down, it's harder for them to have sexual opportunities or meetups and such like, and so that may slow them down. And if all, as with influenza, the more isolated we are from other people, including intimate relations, sexual relations, then the less likely we are to transmit anything. So there's probably a drop, or may well be a drop, in STDs, STIs as a result of COVID. Okay,
can I interrupt you just a little bit?
Certainly.
Okay. So Julie has got a question there. Can you see that?
Yes, I'm just reading that now. Thank you. I need to ask with arthritis. Can everyone else see it? Maybe not. Do you want me to read it out?
Yes, please.
Julie, thank you. Okay, my father suffers from arthritis, and for the past 2 years, he has been on repeat prescription drugs for it. But it seems it's no longer effective. So I need to ask if there is any over-the-counter medicine we can try for him. That's tricky. I was actually laid up with arthritis once for 18 months in my youth. There's many different types of arthritis. Short term, you wouldn't want to take it long term. I don't know if you have ibuprofen and such like. That's an anti-inflammatory, or paracetamol that can help. For me, when I was laid up, there are all these other fancy drugs, but for me personally, aspirin worked just as well as anything else. Salicylic acid, aspirin worked just as well as anything else. Very, very debilitating. There's another, I'm just trying to think, glucosamine. Some people find glucosamine, Glucosamine, and glucosamine can work well. It's an anti-inflammatory, and you can get that from a chemist too. So they're all possibilities. I think for some people, if it's a prescription drug, if they're available in Africa, some of them are very, very good. But at least try some of those others, ibuprofen or paracetamol or glucosamine. Just off the top of my head, without doing a literature search, I would suggest those as a possibility. And all the best to your father, because it's a painful condition. It can be. Yes, I hope that answers your question, Julie.
She will respond.
She'll respond. Yes.
I don't know what that means. Hello, how? Hello, I see Corona Day. Okay, I don't know.
I thought you were going to translate for me. I thought my African's not so good, you see.
My Nigerian one is not so good either.
Okay. Yes, it is Corona Day today. Okay. You're welcome, Julie. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I think, he was asking, hello, I see Corona Day. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Jackie. Me, I don't use, the chia. I use clear written English. I don't do slang, but yeah. All right. I think you've answered her.
Okay. Shall I go back into the some of these statistics, some of these figures?
Yes, and you guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to interrupt. I mean, we just came in with this, STIs and HIV, and Ben was just presenting on that at the moment, but feel free to kick in with your COVID-19 questions. If I don't interrupt him straight away, it means I'll just leave it for later on, and I'll bring it in when it's convenient. All right.
Some of the STIs might be almost better to do another time, but we can go partway through it anyway.
Well, I mean, do you want us to check to see if anyone else has another question on COVID-19? Because I can see Jackie Majita there. She's here. She's the one that I was talking to. She's in the UK as well. She had a few things that she was telling me about. She's the one who told me they are going on level 4. And I said, no, you know what? We can discuss these things in the evening. In case you've got anything to say, Jackie, do you want to say something now? Or do you want to leave it for later?
And while she's thinking on that, I just mention, I think Britain gets hit hard. Most of the rest of the industrialized world, which is what I said before, will be hit hard. But I still think, for two reasons, Africa, because they've got a low average age, will not be hit nearly so hard. But I also think possibly because the upside and the downside, they have not, being a not such a wealthy country, you haven't been able to buy as many medications, for instance, these arthritis drugs and such like. But much of the wealthier countries overtreat, and it's got rid of a large amount of their microbial gut flora, which is incredibly important for their immune system. So the immune systems of the wealthier countries are getting more fragile, And the wealthier countries have a lot more people with eczema and dermatitis than you do in Africa. You've got a better protective immune system through not challenging it by too many pharmaceutical company drugs. Something's come up interesting as well with masks. When we wear a mask, it may be we get more subclinical infections. So if, and I make this number up because nobody knows, if it takes more than a 100 COVID virus to breathe in, you might have to breathe more than 100 in before you're likely to catch COVID. If you breathe less than 100, you're very unlikely to get clinical infection, but you may get immunity when you breathe in less than 100. So wearing a mask may mean that more people get more what's called subclinical, without symptoms, COVID infections, and get immunity with it. So they're less likely to catch it if they're later exposed to more than 100 influenza virus. Jacqueline, a question to Ben. What do you recommend for people who do not usually take flu jabs yearly when it comes to vaccinations this year, given the United Kingdom will shortly be going into winter and COVID-19 cases are on the rise? Do you have any advice for us? The seasonal influenza, the influenza vaccine for over 65-year-olds in an average year is only about 20% effective. Only about 20% effective. For under 65-year-olds, it averages about 60 to 70% effective. Now, one, we're less likely to catch influenza this year because people are more frightened of catching COVID. So they're wearing masks, which also stop influenza, and they're keeping social distancing, which also stops influenza. So our behaviors mean the influenza rate is likely, we can never tell for sure, is likely to be much reduced this winter. However, there's a big fear factor with COVID, and there may be two advantages in having influenza vaccine. In particular, and I'm talking about if you're under 65, one, that if you catch a respiratory viral-like infection, you may not, or you may be frightened, even though you don't need to be very frightened if you're under 60. You may be frightened, oh, is this COVID? And it may frighten you. If it was, in fact, influenza, and you hadn't caught it because you've been vaccinated, and you'll never know if that happened or not if you've been vaccinated, but if you haven't caught it, you'll help reduce that fear factor for yourself this year compared to other years when COVID was not there. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, if nobody got vaccinated to COVID, then more people will be presenting to hospital and clogging up the health hospitals even more, whereas if they'd got vaccinated, it may have left more space for people who got more seriously ill with COVID. So although we're less likely to catch it, there are some perhaps increased benefits this year in having the influenza vaccine altruistically to keep the hospitals more clear of influenza cases. And even if you did not vaccinate and you happen to be, not many people under 60 get hospitalized with influenza, but you happen to be hospitalized with influenza, you're actually more likely to catch COVID when you're in hospital. That's the reality, because there'll be many other people in hospitals with COVID. So we need to keep away from hospitals if we can. So a bit of a long-winded answer, I'm afraid, Jacqueline, but I hope that that covers that off. Somebody mentioned about children before. There's some good studies been done in Japan and the States, and one in the United Kingdom as well. If we were to vaccinate in an average year, we were to vaccinate all, as much as you can never say all, if we were to vaccinate all under 16-year-olds for influenza, even if we did not vaccinate any over 65-year-olds, then the effect is, because children are the spreaders of influenza throughout the community. They go home and it goes up to granny when they get home, sort of thing, because they're the spreaders. And they've got good immune systems, and they respond, under 16-year-olds respond really well to the influenza vaccine, and more likely to catch it because they have no immunity to it. Then if we vaccinated all under 16-year-olds, even if we vaccinated no over 65-year-olds, then the efficacy against the over 65-year-olds rises from 20% up to about 65%, just from the protection that all those young ones gave. It sounds a bit double Dutch. There's nothing to stop you still vaccinating the over 65-year-olds. It just doesn't work very well. But if we vaccinate those seeder spreaders, the under 16-year-olds, it protects the over 65-year-olds. One of the troubles with vaccines, with something like that, is we've become more individualistic in our current society in general, and it's a bit more me. So under 16-year-old and or their parents may think, why should we bother vaccinating our children? It's only going to help mainly those over 65-year-olds. I couldn't give a damn about them. I just want to look after me and my children. So it's quite hard in this more individualistic society to get people to care about others rather than just themselves. And to a certain extent, that's vaccines require, to get herd immunity, require a joint bought-in whole community spirit. So if a COVID vaccine did come and it was 60% effective, then the more people that got vaccinated, the better, would especially help the elderly. But that's just one of the tricky things, one of the ethical dilemmas to work through with COVID. Any other questions?
Not at the moment, but Broch is coming in now, and what I might do is... Morning, Broch.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning to you. Over here.
Oh, yeah, good night.
Might do is... You've got a device on?
I've turned it off.
Would especially help the elderly. That's just one of the tricky things, one of the ethical dilemmas to work through.
We can hear ourselves.
Any other questions?
No.
Not at the moment, but Broch is coming in now, and what I might do is... Broch. Broch, we can hear ourselves in the background. You've got a...
It's really echoey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Try again.
I've done it.
We can hear ourselves. I can still hear ourselves. No. Do you want to drop and come back?
I'll leave and come back. I've turned it off.
Okay. The reason is because if she comes in, that'll be awesome. You guys can have a discussion. I just need to drop for a few minutes.
Should I put the slide on again?
Depends on whether people have questions or not. See what Broch has to say as well, because she's gonna do a recap with you from last time. You may never get to do this STI thing today.
Yep, that's fine. It fits me well. I'll do some more reading rather than my rapid reading.
Yeah, let's see what's happening in people's countries. And I think there's that young man who was here last week. Not last week, the other week, or whenever you guys did it. Was it last week? I can't remember. I have to find him, from Cape Town, but yeah.
Oh, yes, that was really good. Yes, he was good.
He wants to be here because he's been looking for these sessions, and I'll just check to see where he is. I can't remember what his name was.
Welcome, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, is Broch back? Broch, come back in. Okay. All right. You can try to keep talking about something else and then see if Broch comes back.
So, in my reading...
Oh, there she is. Yeah, yeah.
STIs, it seemed as if in Africa, for human papillomavirus, HPV as it's called, that there may be vaccines available, but only for those people that can afford it, I think.
Okay.
Human papilloma.
You can try to keep talking about something else and then see if Broch comes back.
I'm back in. Can you hear me?
Yes, with the device in the background, we can hear you with echoes in the background. I think you've got another tab open on your computer or phone. Because I know that often happens to me.
Again, let me turn one off.
Leave all your tabs off and leave only one tab.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
Oh, okay, she's gone. All right. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Human papillomavirus, HPV. There is a vaccine for it. Ideally, people would have it, but there's a cost to it. So I suspect that's the biggest barrier. But in those countries that can vaccinate, I'm not sure what the actual age is. That vaccination's normally 9 to 11 years or something like that, 9 to 12 years. Really trying to be as certain as we can be that the vaccine, human papillomavirus, HPV vaccine, is given for men and for girls, actually, ideally boys and girls. And it's almost 100% effective if it's given before there's any sexual contact, because HPV is so common in the sexually active community. It's just almost part of normal flora, but it's almost got 100% stop rate in preventing the cancer, cervix-related cancer, cervical cancer, which is caused by human papillomavirus. There's many different strains of HPV, but there's just a few, 4 or 6 main strains that tie up with cancer. The others can be warts and such like, but it's the cancers we really want to stop. Thanks, Jacqueline. And UK girls are given the HPV vaccine in secondary school with consent, and we do appreciate that. Also, Australia and New Zealand, and it may be in the UK, vaccinating boys as well, because if we vaccinate both halves of the equation, we can all but eliminate cervical cancer. And in those countries that have been vaccinated out for 5 years, it's almost 100% effective.
Right. Broch, we can hear you now. I think it's all good. Do you want to talk?
Yeah, hi, Ben.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Awesome.
Yeah, we can hear. That sounds better. It was very, very echoey before.
Oh, I think I had Facebook open as well.
Yeah, that's much better. And echoing goes. Have you got any questions, Broch?
No, I'm just trying to read and recap what you guys you've been talking about. So
both of you can control the stream, but just watch Ben, because Ben is gonna kill the stream for us, because Ben is trying to navigate and he's clicking all the buttons here. I gave him access and everything.
No, the thing is, at the moment, Ben, we are. You can tell I'm full of cold. But it's really quite confusing right now. I think everybody's going into a panic at the moment here in England, because now we are getting into our cold season. Last week, both me and my husband and my son were absolutely riddled with cold. And then the school calls, you need to go to the GP. And I'm like, this is a cold. It's not got nothing to do with coronavirus. It's a cold. They're like, we need the GP to confirm. I said, how can they confirm when it's corona when you haven't tested?
I know, and
it's so frustrating.
You don't know if it's COVID, nor does your GP. The only way to know
is to get tested.
Having said that, you don't want to spread, especially at the moment, COVID, because there's already large numbers. Nor do you want to spread cold. So in the ideal world, and what much of the community is starting to realize, it's a bit antisocial for a couple of reasons. If you go to work or go to restaurants, etc., and you've got a cough or a cold, it becomes a bit antisocial. Even if it's what we used to think of, well, that's just a cold, some of the colds are actually keep going for 4 or 6 weeks sometimes. And
Oh, of course,
they're quite debilitating. They go right around the workplace. And people are aware now for the first time that they can be stopped if people don't go to work. But then there's a practical issue of employers saying, no, you're not going to get paid if you don't come to work. So you go to work and spread it, or there's a thing called presenteeism with the pressure on from the rest of your team to pull yourself together and get them to work. And there's no simple answer. I could say if it is a cold, and there's no way you know without testing, it doesn't matter, because you're well under 60, the chances of you getting...
I'm 70, Ben.
Are you? No. I'm 80. And so there could be a benefit to having a cold. If it's a coronavirus cold, there may be, and we don't know, but sometimes there's cross protection with the COVID virus. There's some cross protections, and we've got to learn more about that. But there's 4 colds that are coronaviruses, as is COVID, and there's work being done on that. If we get immunity to that particular cold, once again, it may only last 6 months or a year, but it may be one of the reasons with any infectious disease, when it sweeps through a pandemic or something like that, there's nearly always about 20%, 25, sometimes 30% of people that never catch it, and nobody knows why. So there's an innate immunity that some people can just stop it. In the case of COVID, there's some thought that perhaps some strains of the coronavirus, cold virus, may protect us from COVID a bit as well, for a start. So there are many, many balls in the air, but the main thing is being young. The chances of you, it might be 3 per 1,000 of you getting a serious infection if it was COVID, and the rest of the time,
it's just a cold. It's at the COVID cold.
That's right. It could be just a COVID cold, and that's most likely. But tricky, because everyone's frightened, especially when the numbers... Are you in the UK or Australia or...
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
When it's level 4, all the numbers are high, so the health system is struggling to cope, and that's the main reason of the lockdown. You're never going to eliminate it from Britain. It's just to manage the numbers. Flat. I was saying before, flattening the curve, flattening the peaks seems like a good idea, and it is. But over a year or 18 months, the same area under the curve, as it's called, the same total number of people will come down with the coronavirus.
Oh yeah, of course. Especially the kids, they've gone to school now, and the high numbers of cold is going to go up, because I know every time it's this year when the kids have gone back to school in September, we have colds every year. But the thing which I found quite interesting, Ben, is because I was wearing mask, the risk of passing on my cold was very low.
Yes,
that was really quite interesting, and I thought, wow.
Right. All the colds in New Zealand, we've been very good. And I was talking before, there's an upside and downside to it. We're very vulnerable at the moment, because we've had, I don't know what it is, 300 cases of COVID virus in total or something like that. Maybe more, I'm just guessing it. But at the moment, that's what it was. And so we've had comparatively very few. And because we've been so effective at shutting it down, we've had very few colds and very few influenzas as well, almost none actually.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting.
Regardless of the vaccine, we've done what's required to stop the transmission. And maybe we'll get it twice as badly next year, because we haven't had as much protection.
But probably it's just being mindful that if you've got a cold, it's quite important that you just... I will be thinking I'll be wearing my mask if I've got a cold. Do you know what I mean? So that I'm not spreading.
That would be the ideal. That would be the ideal of ongoing people.
Yeah.
And even that's a wee bit tricky. Actually, I'll just I'm going to sidestep just slightly because Liz has asked, and before it comes off the screen and I forget, I'll just ask that and come back to that. Is it too late to get HPV vaccine if I'm 34? Normally, that's a hard one to answer, Liz. If you've had lots of sexual partners, or some of the partners you've had have had lots of partners, the chances are you will have been exposed to quite a few HPV viruses, different strains. So the older you are, unless you haven't been particularly sexually active or had any partners, or the partners you have had have similarly not had many, there may be some benefits with it, especially if you think you're not in a long-term relationship. If this was your final relationship, then you will have already been exposed from any your partner had or you have had in the past. Most HPV viruses, we get the subclinical infection, so they colonize there for a while. Most of them are immune system clears again, maybe over 3 or 5 years. So you may have an HPV test which is positive, whether it's a smear test or a PCR test. It may be positive, but most of them, maybe 80% of them, clear again. But 20% of them or so will slowly carry on over 5 to 10 years and just keep on growing. And that, if it was the right strain, or the wrong strain, if you wish, if it's the cancer-forming strain, just over 5-10 years, it can just keep on going. Now, that's treatable. Cervical cancer is treatable if it's caught early enough, and that's why the smear test may be done every 5 years or so, depending on the different protocols, every 5 years or so, because it's such a slowly emerging cancer, but that can be excised and treated. So is it too late to get the HPV vaccine if I'm 34? I think the main benefit of it will be very much reduced. But if you had the vaccine now and you had not been exposed to one of those 4 main cancer-forming strains, then yes, it will be protective. You'll just have to take there's no right answer on giving that. If you had a smear test and you had no HPV virus, if it was a biochemical smear test, or not even a smear, a biochemical test for HPV virus by PCR, if you did not have any of the HPV viruses and you're quite young, so you may well have more sexual partners over your life, then it could still be worth having that vaccine.
Ben, can you give us a few of these HP viruses? Can you name a few for us? Because I think people need to understand what are HPV viruses.
There's a question that was asked here. Did Ben answer this one? Where he says, is it too late to get HPV?
Yeah, we just finished answering that.
Okay.
So I can talk on the HPV virus now, if you wish. Did you wish to talk on some more on the colds, on the masks first, or not, Bruce?
We were talking about that, didn't we? Okay, we can go back to the HPV virus, which I think is really quite important because people really are not getting that thing. But anyway, yes, we can go back to our colds and masks, which I've just experienced recently, which has been really quite helpful for me. And I think I was feeling so guilty because, like what you say, Ben, when you've got a cold, you have to go to work. And we've been having staff crisis at work, so I had to go in. And I found me washing, catching, binning it, and killing it. That was really good, but it made more other people protected because I was wearing a mask. And I haven't seen most people coming back with a cold in my environment, which touch wood, nobody's going to come back. That brush gave me that bloody cold.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to say something just to create a counter view. We, as humans, often spend more time and focus more on short-term effects. So if you had gone to work, hadn't worn a mask, coughed into your hand, passed somebody a bun, and the cold went round your workplace, they would all curse you quietly. They may not say it, they'd grumble. As it happens, you do not know if it's a cold or it's COVID, and it doesn't actually change anything that much anyway, but dare I say it. However, that's short term. People would just be quietly, especially if someone caught it off you and knew they were laid up for 4 weeks or something, they'd think, oh, I know it's like, it's just a bit annoying. Then if I rephrase this differently, if, and this is a big if, that particular cold strain happened to have some cross-protectivity to COVID-19, then they'd never know they hadn't caught COVID because of that damn cold you hadn't given them. You had given them. So
yeah,
there are some things we just don't know enough about yet.
That's really interesting.
And just like when we're young, I remember reading a paper many years ago, it was quite well done at the time. We try and protect our children, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But any child that has two good, according to this paper, any child that had 2 good temperatures, febrile episode temperatures, by the time they're 2 years old, had much lower chances of having eczema and dermatitis when they're older.
That's true. That's true.
We sort of, if we live in a bubble, that's not good either. And we don't, there's an expression I like, for our immune system, we know eating dirt is good for us.
Yeah.
So we know growing vegetables, getting our hands in the dirt, having a dog that licks goodness knows what out on the pavement and comes and licks us on the face. We say how revolting. But people that are brought up with dogs have less eczema dermatitis. People that live in the country, rural areas with more dirt have less eczema dermatitis. There's 2 very religious groups in the United States, fundamental religious groups, very old-fashioned ones, Amish people, and one the Hutterite people, and they're in their communities of around 200. And the Amish people vary from modern standards, very old-fashioned. They live in their houses with their children. They have horses for pulling the plows. Their animals, the dogs and the sheep and such like, are close to the house. The children feed them. And measurably, their houses are actually quite dirty compared to modern day standards. On the other hand, completely same beliefs, the Hutterites, fundamental religious also, but they have become more, for want of a better word, more modern. They use tractors rather than horses. Their animals are housed in sheds well away from the house. The children don't feed them. They're separated. They don't have horses. And their houses are measurably much, much cleaner. And this has been done in formal studies. The Amish people, who are dirtier, for want of a better word, are exposed to more antigens. They have something like 1/6 the number of eczema dermatitis compared to the Hutterites. So there's an upside and a downside to cleanliness, short-term and medium long-term effects. I say we know that eating dirt is good for us. We're yet to know the optimal amounts of which types of dirt are best for us.
That's really quite interesting. I was just dropping off my daughter at school. So I've just met my friend. I haven't seen her for a long time. And I said, how are things going? She said, oh, we've got the cold and your son is not going to school. And a neighbor, they're playing together. The girls are playing together. But because the other girl, she's got a cold, her mom told her, you can't play with these girls for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
Now everybody's the crying, the poor girl, she's besotted. And I'm like, you have to get exposed to the cold, because if you don't, you're gonna catch more of it, because you're living in this bubble yourself. The more they're immune to it, the more they build their own resilience to the bug.
Yes, but somewhere along the line, the colds after 50 years, the influenza vaccine there would have been huge amount of money in it if the vaccination companies, pharmaceutical companies, had come up with a vaccine that was as good as measles, and it was 98% effective, and you only ever needed it once. Nobody has been able to do it. Similarly with colds, if you could go down and get a vaccine and you never got a cold again, on average, people get about, when they actually sit down and write a questionnaire every day, and it's been done, we all get about 2 colds a year. We tend to think we don't, but it's about 2 colds a year when people have to write it down every day. So the immunity probably only lasts about a year for a cold. And for those four strains of cold viruses only lasts about a year. I noticed Jacqueline asking there, or Jackie or Jacqueline, I'm not sure which you prefer to be called, possibly choose a single-use mask if you have a cold and treat it as you normally would. If you know, this is a key part, if you know for definite that it's a common cold, I would say you never know for definite because you can have your suspicions, but this COVID virus, maybe half the people that have COVID virus have no symptoms at all, and they spread it just as readily as when they do have symptoms. And I don't think, because the other half of people that do have symptoms, 80% of them, 80 out of 100, have very mild through to moderate symptoms, and that could include cold symptoms. So we never know for sure if it is just a cold. But does
that mean that do you need to get tested of COVID even if you've got the common cold?
Well, I'm the odd one out in a way in the profession. I'm not sure that we do. I think if you've got a cold or you've got COVID, it's generally considered socially good if you isolate yourself or take really good precautions not to spread it, or at very least, be very mindful when you are socializing with anyone that's, say, over 63, because you don't know if it's COVID or not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or who has a significant underlying illness, diabetes, or blood pressure, or cardiopulmonary heart respiratory issues. And so at the moment with COVID, you'd feel dreadful if you thought it was a cold and you're visiting somebody who is, say, 70 and they happen to catch it, and in fact it was COVID and they died, you just feel dreadful. So we should be thinking more of vulnerable groups, and they should be thinking more of themselves, one, to protect themselves. We should be very careful not to infect them as well. Otherwise, in under 65-year-olds or under 63-year-olds, whether it's a cold or COVID, the vast majority of us are going to survive. Bearing in mind these numbers are different to statistics. I think the United States, they have 330 million people or something. Every 100,000 deaths in the United States is 0.03% of their population. So 200,000 deaths, which they're almost up to, is 0.06% of their population. So that's 6 per 10,000 have died so far. It's actually small numbers, and most of those, I mean, it's a big number, but a small percentage. Tragic for the families and those around them, but actually quite a small number compared to those that will die, for instance, of smoking-related deaths, which would be a lot higher still.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I've managed just to keep myself to my bubble. You know, my daughter, she's not even sneezing, Ben. She's 7 years old. She's having cold, and I'm like, oh my goodness, can I borrow your immune system? She went, what?
Yeah.
So
they have good immune systems.
Our immune system are so different. And my son got it for only 2 days, Ben. And I'm so, you're like, come on, kids, you come and give me this, and you are just suffering 2 days. And now a week and a half, I feel like I've been dosed up with COVID, me. This is why I'm sitting on the sun, Ben. I'm getting my vitamin D because the sun is not hot anymore. So I'm sitting near the window. I'm catching my vitamin D.
Just careful about that. By the open window or the closed window?
Closed window. I'm going to Ben, aren't I?
Because ultraviolet light doesn't go through glass at all well.
Oh, so where's the heat coming from then?
The heat goes through, the infrared goes through.
Oh, come on now.
Not the ultraviolet, doesn't go through very well. It goes through a little bit, but not very well. And I don't know if you've heard it before, I've mentioned the rule of thumb is if your shadow, when you're outside standing up, if your shadow is longer than you, you're probably not getting enough sunlight to make enough vitamin D.
I took my photo of my shadow, Ben. The other day I was in the park. I did. I'll show you it. I'm going to put it out seriously.
So from the, you've got a darker skin than me, for instance. I burn and I'm very fair. I burn in 20 minutes in the sun. You have a darker skin, so you can stay out in the sun longer, but that also filters out, the melanin filters out more of the ultraviolet light, so you may not get as much, I was going to say as much COVID, you may not get as much vitamin D either. So in general, we need about what's called 20,000 international units. Well, I shouldn't say that, I'll restart. We need about 1,000 what's called international units of vitamin D per day. And that may even reduce our chances of catching COVID by about 40%. So we need about 1,000 international units a day. In the summer, if you spend 10 to 15 minutes in the sun without sun cream, you'll get about 20,000 international units. So lots and lots, no trouble at all in the summer. And what's called the half-life of that vitamin D, which is actually a hormone as it happens, but which is made in your fat under your skin by the sunlight, the half-life of it, that's the amount of time it takes until the levels drop by half, is about 4 to 6 weeks. So in the summer, even 10 to 15 minutes in the sun, outside, not through a window, outside without sunscreen, you'll get about 20,000 international units. You only need 1,000, but it lasts for 2 or 3 months.
I'm thinking I'm leaving you because I need to go and get my vitamin D outside.
That's right. So when the midwinter comes on, your shadow will have got a lot shorter, and you can't, even if you're outside for ages, you cannot get enough sunlight to get even 1,000 international units. So you're best to consider having a pill from the chemist with 1,000 international units per day until your shadow starts getting longer again.
So Ben, right, this is really quite interesting. So my skin color changes during winter time. I become more lighter.
Yes, of course.
This is the other thing. People like lighter skin, but now then I get scared. I said I'm losing my melanin, whatever that is.
Yep, that's
so
right.
Instead.
That's right. You become fair, and I just go red and peel. So I become like a sheet of white paper in the winter.
Do you?
Yes, I just become very. I become even fairer still. Yes.
You become like milk.
Yeah, I become like milk. That's right.
Wow. Yeah, I become. So what does that mean then? Does it mean I've lost lots of melanin, or
no,
it's just like
I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it, but
all right.
Probably the melanin is your body responds, has the ability to respond when you're in the sun to immediately come and protect you from the sun. So it bounces back. So from your ethnic origins, you would have, in nearer the equator, you will have survived better by having melanin and not dying of skin cancers. Whereas my ethnic origins, I have not, evolutionary wise, I've not needed to have melanin to survive because we have a lot less sun.
Yeah.
And but as the world's getting hotter, of course, New Zealand has a very high skin cancer rate, and we have very low, the non-Indigenous people, the Maori and Pacific Islanders, they have lots of melanin, but European base, we have very little melanin. And so there's always upsides and downsides.
So Ben, can I go in the sunbed then?
If I go into the sun,
no, not those sunbeds, not the sun. You know, like people go in the sunbed to get a tan.
Yep, I know.
Can I go in it?
You have to be a bit careful about those. Why go to a sunbed when you can just?
No, because it's UV light and it's winter time. Does it not give me UV light?
Yep. You could do. There are some. You have to be very careful not to be too long and make sure you get the right sort of UV light.
No, I thought it's just only for people with lighter skin, Caucasian, but black people can't go in a sunbed.
That's right. But for me, I'd rather take a tablet from midwinter onwards for a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, than pay, if you're in Britain, to pay £20 and go under the sunbed.
No, I was just curious, Ben. I was just curious because you pay for 5 minutes anyway. So I was just curious, how does that work if I go in the sunbed? Because I'm not really a fan, but talking about UV lights, would that be beneficial or not? But like you said, you might as well just take a vitamin D tablet for it, which is pounding.
Because there'll be some other damage done to the skin as well in the sunbed. I don't know enough about it, but younger people have to be a lot more careful still about sunbeds just to get exactly the right dose and no more. I tend to believe in nature, really.
I do it well. I'm all going
on a controlled bed. I think we've learned enough in the last 50 years to know that in general, natural things are better.
I think most people now, they're doing holistic therapies. They're fed up of taking tablets anyway. So that's where we're heading from. And I know quite a lot of, because I do aromatherapy, most people are using quite a lot of essential oils rather than taking medicine themselves. And reflexology is one of those things that is going on the market at the moment. So people are opting for better things.
I've done lots of work with essential oils, not for some time, but some years ago, with using essential oils and being a microbiologist. I'd grow the bacteria on a plate. When people had a specific infection, grow the bacteria on a plate and then put a bit of essential oil on different types and see which one works the best, and then patients treated with it. And it worked like a miracle.
It does. Do you know what, Ben? Because I'm an aromatherapist, I've got bottles. I mix my oils now. I'm like a witch. My husband said, "You're not a witch, you." They are so effective. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting. There's another city in New Zealand down the south called Dunedin, and this was 30 years ago. And I was doing quite a lot of work on the essential oils then. And there was somebody who was an aromatherapist in Christchurch, where I live, knew what I did and had seen some of the work. And she was a nurse, and she went down to Dunedin, and there was a patient there that had a woman who had a laparoscopy, and then after that she had a tube coming out of her stomach, and it got really infected. And the surgeon said ideally he would have gone back in, and but she was too medically unwell. He couldn't go back in. He would have gone in to really open it up to let all the pus out, but he couldn't. So he put her on all sorts of antibiotics for about a month. It was a bacteria called Pseudomonas. Put her on all these antibiotics and nothing would take it down. And this nurse had said, have you considered using essential oils? And he wasn't going to have any of this quackery medicine.
Wow. Can I comment?
I actually sent a picture back of the zone size that the essential oil that worked best for it went down. And so he put some of that down the drain tube, and he got back to me, this quite aristocratic surgeon, to say, "I'm now a complete convert."
Wow. Amazing, Ben.
Yeah, just totally cleared it up. Yeah.
Also,
just over about 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days.
And so you can do it in New Zealand. You're allowed to give, but you're doing research where you can do them.
I haven't done it for ages because I've moved on to other things. When you say you're allowed to do it, some people have got back and say, "Would you give it orally?" And I said, "Never, never, never."
No, you can't.
Don't do it orally. But this was a tube. Yeah. This was a tube going into a pus collection.
So that's intravenous, isn't it? Intravenously.
I'd never do it intravenous either. That'd be too risky, I think. Far too risky. But on topical wounds and such like, honey's also actually very good on wounds. It doesn't even need, Manuka honey's got the name, but it doesn't even need to be Manuka honey, just ordinary honey. Yeah. Sugar paste used to work well for preserving fruit. Yes. If you made a strong sugar concentration, all the fruit canneries used to put it into, and my grandparents used to preserve fruit by heavy sugar syrup. And but out of fashion these days, they're all done in cans that have been heated to kill the microbes. So we know sugar stops microbes growing if it's heavy enough concentration. If it's a much lighter concentration, it encourages microbes to grow, which is why diabetics who have more sugar in their blood, they grow infections very, very readily, because it's just more sugar, nowhere near saturated sugar. Saturated sugar kills bugs. So even any honey on wounds, I've got some fabulous pictures, I should show them some stage, of wounds that have just totally cleared up just using honey as a dressing. Worked very well. What can I use for flat warts? Just wait. First of all, Clara, if CD4 count is 78, what can you do to boost your CD4? I would have to look up to see if there's anything specific. So I'd have to say I do not know.
I know, Ben. What I can use.
In general, I would encourage a variety of mixed vegetables, including especially cruciferous vegetables, which includes broccoli and I'm trying to think, broccoli, what's the other, cauliflower and such like that, the cruciferous vegetables. But you have something on that, Bruce, on increasing CD4s?
No, I've got that question for what, because I've got my synergy chart for some reason. I was doing my oils for my clients, and I've got my synergy chart, so I'm getting excited about essential oils right now. So guys, I will tell you about warts and antiviral, some oils about antiviral stuff. So wait a minute, I had my page open. So the thing is with the essential oils is you can make a blend. You cannot use a single essential oil on your skin, in my opinion, or a burns. You have to use it with a carrier oil, and the carrier oil is like olive oil, grapeseed oil, or you can have sunflower oil. So you add essential oils in a carrier oil. So if you have verrucas, warts, you can use eucalyptus. Is very good. It's an antiviral. Bergamot is very good. But the easy ones to get is tea tree oil. You can get it in any shop for £1 per 10 mils. And you can get as well eucalyptus oil for £1 for 10 mils. So you just put some drops, and lavender. Lavender is very good. It gets rid of your colds as well, your cold symptoms and that. Just putting it in a little bit of oil and add on your skin. But you have to have set droplets. You can't just, you've got to have set, like if I've got 20 mils of carrier oil, I can use 4 droplets of eucalyptus oil.
The main reason I think to have the carrier is the essential oils are really very, very concentrated. They're a distillate, basically. And they kill the it's called the re-epithelialization process. So as a wound starts healing, it's a little bit like putting many antiseptics. They may kill the microbe, but it's no help if they also kill the fresh regrowing tissue cells. And they're just too strong. Most antiseptics are too strong for that. So as I understand it, olive oil absorbs the most of any of the oils and on our skin. And if the essential oil works at a low enough dilution, even better still, because you want it fairly diluted so it doesn't kill the regenerating fresh epithelial cells in a wound or broken skin. And if microbes there and the diluted essential oil kills the microbes, even better still.
You can add your droplets into lotions as well, if you can do that, because it's a carrier butter. But usually just use a base which is not concentrated with any other chemicals, so that you can get the full benefit of the essential oils.
Sure.
I make myself my cream now from essential oils, and I'm covering my hair and I'm covering my skin. I love essential oils. At the moment, I've made myself a cold and flu one. Oh, it smells so nice. And I just kind of give myself a massage, because my limbs in my neck, they're so swollen, and it's magic. Even the headaches goes, the snorting goes, and I give myself a little bit of facial massage, especially reflexology massage is really quite good for your sinuses and draining all the lymph nodes on your neck. And after like 10 minutes or so, you feel really refreshed. It's amazing.
Sure. I just see Clara has a message there. What can I use for flat warts? And once again, you may have some thoughts on it, Bruce. I think three things. One is cryotherapy, in other words, freezing them with liquid nitrogen, if you go deep enough. If you have a freezer, I must say I'm even guilty of it, of having some copper nails, which I keep in the freezer. And if I ever get a little bit of tiny bit of skin cancer, a little wart, I have 2 or 3 nails, and I just sit them. I blunt in the end and take them out of the freezer, and I just sit them on. It freezes the skin on top, and if I sit it there for long enough, put 2 or 3 cold dots of nail on. So that's one way of doing it. Liquid nitrogen is better. There is a treatment. I don't know. I'd need to look up, but I think it's called Thuja, Thuja. It's from a plant that can be placed on warts and occluded with tape on top of that, and you probably have to do it for 2 or 3 weeks. And there's also 10% urea, which I think is pretty good. 10% urea paste, basically.
Urea paste.
You put the urea on top of the wart, and then you put a bit of tape over it, and you may have to do it for 10 days or so, and the urea just is quite toxic for the warts. I think I'd probably start with that one for a start, and just once a day or once every couple of days, just touch on top of the wart with a bit more urea paste and keep it sealed under the waterproof dressing. So you could perhaps look up the internet and find some more on that, but that's what I'd look for a start. If you're looking up some of these things, like urea paste or thuja, I find it best to put evidence first, wart treatment, urea. So put evidence first, and you don't just get crackpots then, you get someone that's, or you may, if the research has been done, you may get somebody's done 100 or 50 or 10 or 5 and found it worked. You have to make up your mind whether it looked like a credible paper or not. Now, not all medicines or essential oils or other things, not all have been tested and or there's not necessarily evidence for them, but it doesn't mean to say they don't work. That's for Bruce, if she's still there. Which essential oils do you mix together for colds, Bruce, please? She's not there. She seems to have gone just at the moment. So the next one is Sumani Gumusei. What can I use for fungi infection on nails and ringworms? That's a good question. I was a mycologist for many years, Sumani, which is a fungal person. If it's on nails, and so long as it hasn't gone into the quick, see my finger there at the base of the nail, so long as it's the rest of the nail, once again, because if it's gone into the quick, then nothing penetrates and to get to the base of the nail. But if you put a piece of tape over that nail with a hole in it, big enough for the nail, and then you paste that nail with 40%, I think it's 40% urea actually, each day for about 2 weeks, and the nail will swell and start coming off. And then also, once it started crumbling off, you crumble the nail away, or the affected part of the nail away. And then you, as well as that, put on a antifungal lacquer. Now, antifungal lacquer, if you just try painting it onto the nail itself, it penetrates quite well into the nail. But the heart of a tinea infection is actually underneath the nail. It's called subungual debris. That cheesy material under the nail is the heart of the infection. So if the anti-lacquer paste only goes 3/4 of the way through the nail, it doesn't get the heart of the infection, which is underneath the nail. So put the 40% urea paste on and as it crumbles off, or when it crumbles off, then put the antifungal lacquer on, and that will usually work. Now, if it is fungal, it's normally just 1 or 2 or 3 nails. You also have to treat between the toes to get rid of it. Even tinnias love alkaline environments, and soap is alkaline. So often there's tinea between the left toe, if it's a toenail, the little toe, there may be an infection between the toes, interdigital infection as it's called, and so do not put soap in it. It might be a bit sore and you think, oh, put soap in, that must be doing good to clean up between the toes. The tinea loves the soap.
Hi, Heben, it's cutting off.
Is it cutting off? Is that coming back again? Can you hear? 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? No?
Just about. About.
A broach.
I think my internet is going on and off then.
Okay. Is mine staying? Can other people hear me or not?
Ben, we can hear you. You are fine.
Okay.
And actually, I mean, I could hear both of you, so I don't know. She thinks she's cutting out, but she's not.
Okay. So just finishing off on that on the nails, 40% urea paste, then an antifungal lacquer. But if it has gone into the quick, the infection's gone right up into the quick, unfortunately, the only thing I know that would work then is to use an oral, as well as the urea and the antifungal paste, is to use an oral antifungal treatment, which you'd need to get from a GP, Lamisil, which is terbinafine, or itraconazole, which is Sporanox, but probably Lamisil. And that's the only, even that's not 100%, but using all three of those should do it. But get rid of the tinea between the toes. Even vinegar can help that because it's quite acidic. Otherwise, use Lamisil cream between the toes to get rid of the tinea. Is Bruce there again? I'm sorry for those people that have asked Bruce some questions.
I'm coming back, Ben.
He's coming back? Okay.
No, my internet is coming up and down, up and down.
Okay. So, too many people watching movies down the street because you're on level 4 lockdown.
I know, you know, they never stop. It's day and night. Do you know what I mean? 24/7 now. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, I was coming back to Lynn. Also, I've just looked at the Mercedes chart. You can use, I've given you the basic essential oils, which you can easily find in a supermarket. Eucalyptus, lavender, and cinnamon. And then you put them in a 20 ml bottle of any carrier oil you have, olive oil, vegetable oil, 3 drops of each. So you will have 9 drops of each of this oil, 9 drops of oil in one 20 ml bottle of any carrier oil of your choice. Or you can add them in your body butter. So you can use them as a body. You drop them in and mix very well, and a self massage, just giving yourself a good, nice stroke. Let me see. Let me show you how to do it.
That makes good sense. I understand that. It's a big dilution, isn't it? Big dilution.
Yeah, just any lotion you might have in the house. I normally use aqueous cream because it doesn't have any additives in it. It's just like a base cream. It doesn't have any perfumes and other things which they put in. And lanolin oil is really quite good. So you just get in your hands and just do a basic stroke on it, because there's your lymph nodes here. And they get swollen. If you touch yourself right there, you feel it's swollen if you've got a cold. And then you do like this. This is like draining your mucus out of your nose. And then just give your nose a little nice massage. But it feels like you can't breathe. But when you release it, it really, really, really opens your nose inside. It's really one of those things which I've learned through massages. And then just leave it at that. You can do it 4 times a day. And within 3 days, like Benoit said, they're very effective. Within 3 days, for those periods of 4 times a day, you feel the difference. Even coughing, you can feel that your throat really gets soothed from inside. You can even feel the essential oils actually. You know, what do you call it? The process, Ben, of essential oils going through your skin. I can't remember the name now. I'm a lousy teacher, aren't I?
You advocate, Broche, the nasal washouts at all, just with saline or water? I must say, if I got a cold or something in the shower, I put my head back and go and blow out and just clear as much as I can. Once you get used to it, it's all right.
Or you can steam. Steaming is very good as well. Steaming with essential oils, because water is a carrier water. You just put a few droplets and cover yourself with a blanket. We used to do that when we were home in Zimbabwe. We all used to be put in one blanket, Ben, with a dish of steamy water. Come on, get in. That's exactly the same thing. But we used to use guava leaves, Ben. Can you imagine? Gum tree leaves, guava leaves. They are actually, those things still make essential oils. Surprise, surprise. They do.
Yeah. Essential oils.
I can't hear you, Ben.
I know. It's really so I was just coming back to that one. Fungal infections on nails and ringworms. Ringworm is the same as tinea, incidentally. So the skin is a lot easier.
Oh, they're little boogers.
They can either use knives, but I must say I tend to just use Lamisil on the skin. It's a proprietary product, but Lamisil would work well.
Okay, Broach has dropped again. Yeah, I also advocate for Lamusel cream. That's what often works. Within a few days, you start noticing a difference for ringworms or fungal infections. Yeah, I agree. So I'm just listening from behind the scenes, but I can hear you. I can hear everything.
No trouble. Ringworm is not a worm, incidentally. Ringworm's the same as tinea, which is a fungus, but it's the old-fashioned name, still ringworm, and many people use it. I'm going to have to go shortly, Casey, because I've got a 3-hour talk first thing tomorrow morning.
And I'm on radio tomorrow. It's for 3 to 4 hours from our time, 8 a.m. to maybe midday tomorrow.
That's right.
8 a.m. to midday tomorrow. So if we do leave it here, did you guys have anything else that you were talking about? Oh, she's back. What time do you need to go, Ben? Do you want the next 6 minutes, or what did you want to do?
Yeah, just 2 or 3 minutes, and because I've got to do, I spent all afternoon on this one. I've got to do a bit more for tomorrow morning.
Right. What's that one tomorrow?
Is a long formal talk.
Formal or informal?
Formal.
Oh. Right. That's all right. I mean, if you've got any more questions, I mean, we can do a catch-up show like you did last time with Broach. You know how you just came in the middle of nowhere and answered people's questions during the week. And I think that time is what actually works for most people because everyone will be at home. So if you can make it in the like you did last time, that will be so good. This time, as you can see, not so many people are here. People will be catching up with this later. I mean, it works, but sometimes people prefer that if these lives can be done when they are there, it makes a difference.
Sure. Yep. Okay, dog. Don't think there are any more questions there. Been good talking to you, Broach, and to you, Casey.
Good to see you again, Ben. You
And
enjoy. Are you
Lots
at
of
your
love.
night time, aren't you? Night time now.
Oh yes, there's somebody who asked a question, Ben. They're saying that.
Don't forget, Casey, next week or this weekend, I think daylight saving comes in New Zealand too.
There's a question that was asked up there somewhere.
Yeah, no, we've covered all those.
Did you answer that? If the CD4 count is 28, what can you take to boost
I didn't answer it very well because it's not a very easy thing to lift, but I just suggested I'd have to do some research on it. But it's not easy, as people with HIV will know, for instance. But sometimes it may take whatever's caused the CD4 to go down. If it's HIV, you might need antiretrovirals or such like to try and get it up again.
That's right. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, if your CD4 count is low, because they give you ARVs according to your CD4 count levels. So I can't think of. I mean, your diet, obviously. I don't know if that always counts.
I don't know. I would suggest diet, but I don't know if it makes any difference at all or not. I'd need to do some reading up on it.
Okay. We went for 1 hour 48 minutes. That's nearly 2 hours. Well done. Quite impressive for a 65-year-old young man.
Listen, I'm 8 years old. I'm older than Ben. What's wrong with you?
I've just become 90 now. Just having a birthday.
And I'm catching my son. I'm going to catch my son outside now. I need to be, my vitamin D dose needs to be up to there.
Don't put sun cream on. Get your vitamin D.
Well, yeah, that's right, Ben. Sun cream on vitamin D.
We get sunburned.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, very badly. I have really bad heat rash.
Not in 10 to 15 minutes, you won't.
So I have to really put. I put SP50 is really quite good for me. If I put FP20, I can still feel the itchiness of the sun. So I have
to. You only need 10 to 15 minutes in the summer is all you need without cream on.
Oh, come on, Ben, now. I need my tan, me. I need my tan.
you need some tan. Well, just 10 to 15 minutes because the tan will stop the UV light creating the vitamin D.
Okay.
10 to 15 minutes without screen.
I didn't get any vitamin D today, so I need to go out tomorrow. Oh, I went for a run, but it wasn't sunny, was it? No, it wasn't. Oh. Did you run today, Broch?
No, I was gonna run, and then now you're doing a live. I'm gonna have to go when I finish.
Oh, it's daytime over there. Ben, did you walk today?
You talking to me?
Yes, there's only one Ben here. Did you walk?
Did I walk? No, because I was going to have, and then when you got to me on that genital thing, I've actually spent all day.
Yeah, she's always doing this.
Eh?
It's Katina who stops her doing our walking and running, Ben. You tell her.
You spend all day in genitals.
Okay. I'm going to part company for the moment. Bye for now. Bye for now.
All right.
Okay, bye for now, Ben. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Same to you.
Don't forget to say hi to everybody.
I will.
Yeah, do your duties after this, okay?
You say hi to everyone too, Katina.
Don't let me go into details. No, you sign out before I start saying lots of stuff here.
Katina, don't embarrass Ben.
I know. It's like you don't know what I'm gonna say next, so you better sign out.
Wow.
Am I going to school tomorrow, Mom?
Oh, listen to this one asking me if he's going to school tomorrow.
Yes, you are going, Tanaka. You're going to school tomorrow, honey. There's nothing wrong with you.
Broch said you're going to school. Your eyes are cleared up, so yes, you are. So says Broch. Okay? Yes, you are. So go get your uniform ready.
It is.
You're welcome. So brush your teeth, bedtime. Thanks for the dinner.
Yes, Mom.
He made us dinner tonight.
Did you? What did you cook, Tanaka?
Tanaka, what did you cook? Come and tell Auntie Broch. What did you cook?
Who's that?
There she is. You can see her right there. She's
The one
asking you.
that stays in England.
Yeah, can't you hear her? She's got the Queen accent.
What did you cook, Tanaka?
Fries and sausages.
Rice and sausages.
No, fries.
Oh, rice and chips. We call them chips in England.
No.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, fries. Yeah, chips and sausages.
Oh, now my mouth is watering, Tanaka. That's not fair. I'm hungry now.
Let me show yourself here. She wants to see you.
Move.
Why should I move? Oh, so I need to move from my computer.
Yes,
Okay,
Mama,
there.
move. I want some.
No, you talk to
Oh,
it.
that was mine.
So what is wrong with you? You look well as hell.
You tell her about COVID-19.
Tanaka, what is wrong with you? You look so well. What's wrong with you?
My husband reading now to my mama.
No, mine is cleared up too. It's all clear now.
Oh,
Huh?
my mom. My eye was reading now. My mom's is.
Have you been looking at girls? That's why they were sticky.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look at girls?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's a telltale sign. If you look at girls, your eyes are going to be sticky all the time. So don't look at them. Okay? Now, what are you eating?
Well, a mandarin.
Hmm?
An orange.
It's called a mandarin, Tanaka. And nachis. Nachis.
Oh, yeah, they call them nachis, tangerines, mandarins. They've got quite a lot of names, actually. Them little things. They've got quite a lot of names. It depends where you are. It depends where you are. So tell me about COVID-19. Have you been fighting with it?
Yes.
Mm.
Oh wait, no, I'll be back.
No, you tell her.
I need to grab something.
No, you're gonna start reading to her now. Oh my Lord. No, you're gonna get.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
wrong level 2.1.
2.5.
Don't look at
2.5.
your mommy. You should know this.
Exactly. Don't ask me. Me, I'm getting into my blankets.
We're on level 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost normal, but it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, school is different. We can't have assemblies.
Oh, yeah.
We can't have school assemblies, so we have to do them from Zoom in our classes.
Oh, wow. So are you doing the one-way system? That you've got to go in. You know, like here in England, when you're going to school, how do you walk around the school?
We don't have to wear masks, but I think it's people over 12. I mean, yeah, over 11 have to wear masks.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
Teachers, I think they have to wear masks.
And how old are you?
11, turning 12 this year.
Wow. So do you have to wear masks then? If you're in that bracket, you have to, don't you? Because you're 11.
Well, if there's COVID again, oh yeah, because my birthday's.
Have to.
Yeah,
when
I
is
have
your
to.
birthday?
Turn 12 this year in December the 6th.
Oh my goodness. Have you got a beard? Let me see if you got a tash. My son has got a tash. He's 12. He's got a mustache coming through. Mustache. Some nice little hairs on the mouth. He does have one. Do you have some?
I don't know.
Are you having your deodorant? But did mommy buy you a deodorant?
Yes. Oh yeah, she.
Okay.
The whole closet is gonna come to my room, Broch. We're gonna bring you his bed and everything in here.
So I have this one. It's for.
What is that?
Oops. It's this.
Oh, is that Links Africa?
It's Rexona.
Huh?
It's Rexona spray. It's like for sports and stuff. And I have this one.
Oh, right. That's good. Do you know how to spray it? Do you know how to spray it? What do you spray it?
Where do you spray it?
Where do you spray it? No, where? Yeah, just
so this one I sprayed underneath my armpits, and this one I spray it on my body.
Oh yeah.
And then this one.
How many sprays did you buy? Sticky eyes.
I told you we're gonna get the whole bedroom into my bedroom.
This one, I spray it. I like over here, like here.
Is that a perfume?
Yeah, and then I do this before school. So this one,
you are having. It's called. What is it called? It's not a perfume. It's used with men. You know, like you just dab it like that on the chin after shave. Like that.
And I have this African one.
Oh Lord, have mercy now then. Oh Jesus Christ, those poor girls.
That's why he's got a pink eye.
That's too much aerosols.
The girls come like bees. They'll be following those fragrances and deodorances.
Jeez. And how many of those girls follow you around? Tell them to keep away from you.
I mean, no.
No? What do you need that for? Listen, you tell them, my auntie said I'm too handsome, so you can't come near me.
Yes.
You are reserved until you're 18.
My sister's not even 18 and she's got a she's got a friend.
Oh, I will talk to her. Don't you worry until we sort it out for you so that you're all even.
I'm
gonna kill you because you're grasping on them.
So how old is your son?
Jacob is 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
He's
in high school. He's in high school now. He's in year 8.
Oh, high
Yes,
school.
because he was born in January.
2008.
Yeah, he was born in 2008 January. Yes. So you went to school.
He's older than me by like
nearly the whole year. He was born on the 29th of January.
Whoa.
She was born on the 28th.
Is she? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my mom.
All right.
My mom's birthday is a month after mine.
Wow.
So yeah, she's giving me presents and then she has to get presents again. So.
Too much presents, man. I hate his birthday because I've got to do Christmas and then I've got to birthday.
And my birthday is how many days? 19 days before Christmas.
I know. That is scandalous, right? So do you get twice presents?
Yeah, I get presents again on Christmas.
You never.
Yes. Mom, I get presents again on Christmas, eh?
That's not fair. We need to stop that.
So have you been good anyway? Have you been good so that you can get Christmas present? Have you been behaving?
Yes. Do you think I believe in Santa?
Oh, no, you don't.
No.
No. My son doesn't.
I stopped knowing that he was fake when I was like 10 or something, 9.
My son did that when he was 5 years old. He is not interested in Santa. Yeah. My children. Lily doesn't. Lily knows. She said, yeah. Lily tells Santa is fake. She's 7. She's not interested.
7? That is too young.
Yeah, she's not bothered about Santa. She doesn't care.
Oh, I was 8. I can't remember.
Anyways, Christmas is good because I think Christmas is for families bringing everybody together and have nice food and play lots of games and just have a nice chat and do all the silly things you can do with your family. That's what I do on my Christmases. And we love it.
People think that Christmas is just for presents, but it's actually Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, it is. For Jesus wanted people to come together and celebrate. There was feasts. People did make a feast. People did give each other some little gifts, not these bigger gifts people do. I don't spend any £100 on gifts, me. They need to go to get a job. If you want a gift of £100, I tell them to get a job.
Aren't you rich? Don't you have money? You live in England.
No. It's my money. I work for me.
Wait, aren't you rich? Because you live in England, right? With the Queen.
No, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. But it's my money. I'm rich. It's my money. My kids have got to work for their money. As simple as that. That's what I do. So they all got a job. They will get a job when they're 16. My children get a job when they're 16.
Do you have any children that are close to 16?
My children, my other eldest son is going to be 27 this year in November. And my daughter, she was born on the same day as me. She's my birthday gift. She's going to be 25 on the 1st of October.
Did you hear that, Mom?
I heard that. Wow.
What? How is that? Whoa.
Yeah, that was a miracle, isn't it?
My sister's 16 next year.
Wow. Yeah, she can get a job, can't she, in New Zealand? Can you not get a job in New Zealand?
No, at 16? Oh, yeah, she can get a car next year.
Yeah, you can do like 21 hours a week. You're only allowed 21 hours a week.
I hope that Tatinda fails her driver's test next year.
Yeah, she does it when she's 17 as well. Even here as well, we do them when they're 17.
Oh, 17. We do ours at 16.
No, here it's when you're 17, you can have a driving license. Yeah, you can start learning to drive. Yeah.
So in England, where do you live? Because where does the Queen live?
The Queen lives in London, in Buckingham Palace.
So where do you live?
I live in Leeds. It's 4 hours drive to go to London. My sister lives in London, but it's 4 hours drive to go to London.
What is it like being in the same country as the Queen?
There's no difference. I've never been to Buckingham Palace, to be honest with you.
I really want to go.
Because it's like a restricted area, so they do have certain days when they have open days for people to go and visit, but you can always visit around the castle.
Is it like a castle, like a castle?
Yeah. There's loads of castles in England, loads of them. And the Queen owns quite a lot. There's Buckingham Palace, there's Sandringham Palace, there's loads of them.
Is she rich?
Oh, damn, yeah, she's the Queen, huh? She's damn rich.
Holy
moly.
I'm going to move to London.
Yeah, you need to come to London. London is really quite interesting, but it's too busy. I'm not really keen in London, but I like to go and visit for a few days and come out of it. It's quite busy. It's London. But I live in Leeds. I live in Leeds, right up north, nearly we call it West Yorkshire. That's where I live in Leeds. It was West Yorkshire. Yeah. So that's where I live. It's quite colder than London. London is warm because it's down south.
Ah, yeah. Here we don't have like cold or hot. It's like it rains one day and then the next day it starts getting sunny.
Really?
And then we have some days when it rains and then it's sunny at the same time.
Now here in England, when autumn, where all the trees are shedding all the leaves, and then prepare for winter.
So I think summer. I think Mom, what season are we in?
Good question. We're just finishing our winter now.
Oh.
Okay.
So that means... Ah, yeah.
So you're going to, if you finish your winter, you're going to springtime. When the trees are starting to have leaves, they're starting to have leaf buds. But we are going into winter, which is going to be cold. It's starting to be cold now. The sun is out now, but it's not that warm. You have to put a coat on to go outside. Yeah, hopefully this.
Masks?
What, darling?
Do you guys have to wear masks?
Oh yeah. I think today they've announced that. Yesterday we have to go with the mask when we're dropping off kids at school. And we're still doing the supermarket thing. And I'm thinking probably we've got a curfew now. We can't be going out at certain times. And we're still remaining in our own family bubbles, but grandparents are exempt because they have to help out to look after kids when the parents have gone to work. So that, people are not struggling. They don't stop going to work. So they're quite putting things in provision. Yeah, I wear a mask all the time now.
Do you still go to work?
Yes, I still go to work, but in the workplace, you have to wear a mask all the time because I'm a nurse. I'm a mental health nurse, so we have to wear masks. I get into work and I take my temperature, and then I go back again, and then I put the mask on, and then all throughout my shift, like I do like a 12-hour shift, I have to take it off, on and off when I'm doing certain things.
So what school do your kids attend? And
Jacob is in high school, and Lily is in primary school. Lily, she's not far off from home, but Jacob has to go in a bus. So he's a spoiled kid. I take him to the bus stop, or Daddy takes him to the bus stop to get his bus to school. It's quite if I drive, it's like 20 minutes drive to go to his school.
I'm an intermediate, but I'm a year 7. Is he a year 7?
No, he's year 8.
But he's my age.
No, but the thing here in England, right? When you start going to school, you go in reception first. That's when you are like 4 years old. It depends when your birthday is. If you are born between January and September, you can go to school in that September. But if your birthday, like you were born in December, you'll be going the following year, which means you'll miss out. So you'll be the older, you'll be the youngest in the class, or the older you'll be the older in the class for year 6. Your year in New Zealand is our year 6 here in England.
Ah.
Yeah. So year 7, Jacob was already in high school. That's what he did last year. So our term starts every September. We don't start in January. We start in September school.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you finish?
So now they've started year 8. It finishes, our year finishes in July, and then we have summer holidays all August until September.
Oh, that's short.
6 weeks. We have 6 weeks holiday for summer. That's a long time.
What?
Yes, that's too long.
Is that a term break?
Yeah.
For how many times do you guys have term breaks?
Now they've started in September. They're going to have 1 week in October, which is scandalous. And then they have another 2 weeks at Christmas period. And then they have another one in February.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have 3 weeks, nearly 3 weeks in Easter time holidays. And then the longest one is the summer holiday for 6 weeks.
Wait, just 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Wait, how long is our summer holidays?
It's a month and 2 weeks.
Our summer holidays is 3 months.
Hey!
Wait.
Nearly 2.5 months.
It
You are
starts in
kidding.
The whole of December, the whole of January.
not the whole of December.
No,
My
for
birthday's in.
September's one is when you.
My birthday is a day before.
The school holidays.
No. My birthday is Sunday.
Yeah.
It was when you were in Zimbabwe.
No, last year it was on Saturday here in New Zealand.
Okay, all right.
This year, I can even show you. Oh my.
It's all right, Tanaka.
Wait, hold on. Coward.
So your birthday is going to be on a Sunday. So when do you break off from school?
Oh, sorry.
Don't touch anything on that
Wait, is
computer.
this the one?
Don't.
Yeah.
So when do you break off from school?
Sunday,
Well,
Mom.
not every time.
Just check on your.
It changes every year.
Oh, is it not set?
Last year, my birthday was on a Saturday here in New Zealand. So that means this year it's on a Sunday because it's leap year.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Do you know what a leap year is?
Yeah, the one way I can propose to a guy.
Mm.
And how often does it happen, Mother?
That happens. That has never happened.
It does.
No, it happens every 4 years.
Mom's never proposed to a guy. She hasn't gotten the chance to.
What she's going to do because it says a leap year.
She hasn't gotten the chance to.
Huh?
Mom hasn't gotten the chance to propose.
She might do one day. That'd be quite exciting, wouldn't it?
One day.
Yeah, you've got to have faith. One day, sweet Jesus, Mommy's going to propose. And the guy is going to say, yes, Katina, I'll marry you.
God.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Tanaka, if the guy said, yes, Katina, I'm going to marry you?
It would either be a dream or...
Why?
Because I know it has never happened.
It will happen someday.
Who knows?
It will happen someday. Yeah?
Maybe when Mom's like 90.
Tanaka.
Your mother.
Sorry, Mom.
Not a mercy on you, Katina. If you're going to be 19, somebody's going to propose. You're going to propose. Jeez. We need to pray for that war.
Mm.
And how old are you going to be when your mom is 90?
I'll be... How many years am I young? You're 39 and I'm 12.
Mm.
Okay. We're gonna sign out now, Tanaka.
Wait, what?
You need to go to sleep. It's 9:54.
No, I want to keep on.
No, you can't keep on talking. You need to go to sleep.
Well, I'll talk to you another day, yeah? When it's earlier. When we chat earlier.
This is not a kids show. Bye. Come on, get up. Say good night to Auntie Roshan. Off you go. Get up.
Go, Tanak, listen. You're going to school, honey. You need your beauty sleep so girls can look. You can look handsome tomorrow. You don't want to wake up and looking grumpy. Go to bed.
I'm going to school.
Yes, you are.
We've talked about this. You're going to school. You're going to go to school tomorrow, and I'm having a lie-in. Nah.
Bye. Oh, you want everyone to know that Tanaka doesn't listen at home.
Wait, just in the broadcast thingy.
No. It's not up to you. Off you go. Can you
go to bed, Tanaka? I love you. Have a good night, darling.
What day is that?
Yes, that's fine. Can you just go, please, Tanaka? We want Tanaka. That's fine. You will talk to Tanaka later, tomorrow. It's nighttime here. It's 10 to 10. He needs to go to sleep because he has to be up like really early tomorrow. Because I'm on radio tomorrow. You have to get up really early. Yeah, Gift is one of the DJs there. He's one of the broadcasters on radio.
Yes, so let me talk.
He's not on the thing. You're only with Broch there. So off you go. Tanaka, please. No, Tanaka. Okay, I'm gonna.
He's on typing it.
I know he's typing. I know he really wants to talk to you because he thinks you're cool. Only when you listen. Tanaka, off you go. Go brush your teeth, please. Now. Open the door. Out. Go. We want. You are giving. That's one bomber. Do you see that? I was gonna read together. I think I'm going to copy and paste.
Tanaka, you need to listen to mom, okay?
You need to listen to Tanaka. Off you go, please. This is the way out. This way. Tanaka, that way.
I will come there.
Tatenda, out of the Tanaka needs to get ready, brush your teeth. Thank you. 5 minutes. Yeah, I think these kids are lonely. So when they see someone who talks to them, they want to stick around them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I think they're getting more and more comfortable. Before, they used to refuse to come on camera, Now it's like,
yeah.
Who doesn't want to leave the cameras? Tanaka. Bedroom, yes, bedroom mango.
Bloody hell. I can't stand the smell of those things. Honestly, my husband has to have a roll-on. I cannot stand those stuff.
But many fragrances are really nice. You know that? I like them.
No, I like my roll-ons. I don't like the spray ones. Since I've been pregnant, I could not stand them ones. So I had to get my roll-ons. I thought I was going to die when I was pregnant. They sent me cuckoo. So now I can't even tolerate them.
Jacob
has got Link Africa. Jacob has got Link Africa now.
Huh?
Jacob has got that Link Africa thing. I don't bloody know. They got to put upstairs, don't bring downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Mangwana, what's happening tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Hang on.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
That's your Tuesday night, right?
No, today's Tuesday night for me.
Anyway, I'm on radio tomorrow morning, which is tonight here. I'm on radio, so ana Chris kani makazo gezarini go anzi plus varumeti no gezaka makanga.
They just cover it with that strong smelling spray anyway.
No, their fragrances are designed to cover up all the smell. I wish they could make women's fragrances like that.
And then I use my husband's roll-on. I use Lynx.
My daughter comes and steals everything from my I have to literally go and yell and bang on the door. Bring my stuff back.
I know. In that bit wayembe, memory comes and take my clothes and shoes. Kana boots zacha anyatso dzikwana dzinongopfekwa dzakadaro. Akuchino nadzo kumba kwake adzoke nadzo. Anzi mom, this is, you can't sit again.
Oh my god. I know my daughter is kind of like the same size as me because she's tall. She's taller than me. So she can fit on nearly everything of mine because the height takes whatever. If I'm a little bit, wider.
The height takes everything out.
Oh my god. So things are disappearing. Jeans are disappearing. I don't even know where my jeans are. Dresses are disappearing. If she likes a dress, before she used to say, Mom, your taste of clothes is not the same as mine. Now I'm like, let me put on something. I look for it. You find it in her bedroom. It's gone.
They're so opinionated. Mom, you're looking so old. You know, the way you dress. And then Munongo dances only. This dress is nice. I'm not bringing it back. And excuse me? Before then, I was not your class. Now you're taking my stuff. Can a lipstick zakungo disappear?
I know. Can I do your makeup? Why? Because I learned something on YouTube. No thanks. So now this morning I woke up and I'm like, oh, where's my stuff? Everything. The whole trolley was there. That big trolley with makeup. Oh, you can't even see it. Ew. Trolley.
Wow.
What time I think, because sometimes I sleep with my door open. I just kind of like doze off. So she came in and sneaked out with the whole trolley.
Wow. And then I have to go avoid shopping. Lily now she knows all this stuff. Ukatenga anzi, what about mine? Masvana kutenga lip gloss. I would anzi mascara, mom. Anzi, you've got to do with mascara because it's so nice. She likes blush. And mom, what do you think about my blush? Excuse me, Lily, how old are you? Can I ask? You know? So mom, but I need it. What to do what with? So when I put my dress on, mom. Andrew, please don't take my daughter shopping. One way my bag. Honestly, musuna akatenga boots ne skate kwauye murikuenda kupi. So when I'm going out.
With who? Where?
I was not I say she wears it.
Oh my
the other week, dress. And when we were going out, mommy said we were going out, so I bought a dress and tights.
Aye. It's like we're not doing shopping for clothes anymore.
No, that's true. You've got to stop it.
No, especially me, I'm not, because I used to be a shopaholic. So I think I won't be buying clothes until maybe I'm 50.
When you're 90, when you're 50, what will you be wearing?
Propose and then 90, I'll find a man when I'm 90. We look good without makeup.
Makeup. Look at this skin, so cute. We don't do that kind of stuff. You know, you need to get some makeup and I can't breathe. I feel like I can't breathe. Propose 90 days fasting. 90 days, we're gonna introduce 90 days fasting for Ketina. She can't get, you know,
right when she's 90.
So to 90, do you know?
Yeah, Tanak, how old is he now? He's like 11.
12.
So we are turning 12 here.
I was internet 12. I'm an internet 12 straight out. Actually, you are 12. It's 11. Then you see, when I'm 12 years old. So in 90 years' time, that's going to be like 72 years.
Makanaka ladies, give it our you need my binoculars. You need binoculars and makanaka but
we are pretty outside. Beauty is within. To not gaze a foot.
Yeah. Ndandakabatidza heater, now I'm sweating.
And Ketina will find a husband in a woman cat. Come, love. Where have you been? I just met you.
Since you were nanny, we are broadcasters, we're both single. And you know, Kega. And unongwe wangwe takambenten kangu giviga.
Ayi wabungu magunesi ngom Ketina muchipikira wa team chigara makabatina mawoko like that. And please don't fight my gift is mine. You know? I married him 20 years ago. Shazikona nambuya pasi sina pepe. Ketina kada kunesi ngomka. Anodzingwa uyu anenge achitora varume vese vanenge vakagariswa panga tanyenda
nemadentures apo unenge une madentures uchiita kuti this is my husband.
Akauya munyova nazi ndinyengeiwo pano anenge auya ndinyengeiwo.
Ask me out, please. Can you tell that? Ask me out.
Ask me out. Zvinotovhariwa muroom toita kutoti vanhu kana vanhu varume vakubuda Ketina ngaende kubedroom kwake please. Panoita nyaya varume vakurova namanje.
One of those old ladies vanenge vachiti kana pakuya yakukwana visiting avakanonovhariwa mubedroom.
Exactly. Kuti vanozonyadzisa hanzi mukadzi wavo anotanga kuchema kuti murume wangu akuhura muno manje uyu hanzi uyu akuhura uyu namai vavava.
It's like Divan's kanenge kari kafiti kagogo enjoying the benefit of
gift. Can you imagine Ketina akapfeka gogo manje anenge akapfeka gogo akamboti kwe achivatambira varume vave muno mafuta.
Preso mnene garanti mbonotsvagiko guys asi munoema ndidimbura makumbo.
Aiwa ka unenge wanetsa Ketina kana wakuzochema unenge wakunetsa kati nongoti vanhu aiwa chimbomire Ketina ambotsvaga varume unesi ng'omumu toita sei.
Guys muchandirovesa panapo kuona nezino ndakapotsa ndarohwa panapa nevamwe vakati hanzi ndakavatorera murume.
Exactly. Ivo vari kusango kuhanzi Ketina ivo wakatondiignowo kutonyengana nemurume wangu seruko. Iye munhu haana kana nokumbonyengwa kwese. Do you know Ketina ka nyaya dzako zvichida kuteera kunesi ng'omu iko.
Zvandotozviona kuti ini kana resto minogona kutondirambira izvozvo kava kucheka background history so vaona kuti
kuti Ketina anonyenga vanhu. We need to put that pa-CV kuti Ketina anonyenga. That's another profession yainayo.
You play with me, I ask you out, so don't.
Exactly. It's called a modern profession. Anenyengology.
Tinetsa shamwari nandidi zvokunetswa ine kuti musandivinge kuma-inbox yaitipedzera nepanapa.
Yakazopera sei kunyaya yacho handina kuzoinzwa kaenda ida kuinzwa nyababa.
Haana kuzouya, he didn't come. Akati hanzi handisku akazongodisappear, but he came this morning patachita nyaya yedu ye last night yenyu achingoseka zvake. Unozotachita nyaya yemamaids idzo dzakuya dzichifungidzira kuti I think he was just playing silly really. Hanzi handafunga maybe tiri kutandara.
Ndidzo nyaya dzake dzaanoswa ndosaka mamai vasingakwanise kurara vachifunga kuti munhu murungu ari kuenda kunotsvaga vakadzi kusangoko.
Hanzi Ketina wakutora people's husbands futi. Shamwari iwe siya zvakadaro. Handaiti unoda mabachelors chete ka aiwa
vakadzi vava kutofunga kuti hanzi varume vakutora nokuti vanongogara vari kuinbox kwaKetina kuchida uya kuzotandara uko. Amai vakusiwa vane zhara. You know, I mean, and amai vacho nayo vari 3,000 miles away, you know?
I know they're not even married, man. Musikana wepa COVID-19. Vakangosangana wepa COVID-19. But also, Hanzi, New Zealand, there was something funny we were talking about. Hanzi, you'll find that your kids and even some other people really, Hanzi, when something Hanzi, isolation boyfriend.
Oh, yes, you do.
And so much that you start talking to certain people that you can, I'm not going to conclude that she's mine or we are in a relationship. Yet it was just a COVID-19 relationship. So I think that's what this one was. Post-COVID-19. But the mistake it was a new friendship, relationship, whatever. She created fake profiles to stalk the guy. The guy felt stalked.
Let me tell you.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Ndipa computer and one phone, I can't be bothered. Because Yanka Chimboinda Pangatina Ben, it was just cutting out my internet, was just going wrong.
yakamaka ban internet yako ndaropedza mvura ndiri munomu
ende uchaita wait usiku wese ukafa.
Apparently no, I don't. This is only how many liters?
Really? After drinking that at 11 o'clock now, you don't go for a wee. If you got a bladder like a horse?
I'm sweating it. I just came from running. I was not. I'm sweating. I just came from running, and then I came and had a quick shower, and then I came and did this with Ben. But in the churumbo replace some Vranda and
Christopher, Anzi's Ketina's fault. Anzi, she dancing in a tights, joking, confused. Listen, these men, they need to grow up.
Zvakadhindikira rega ndinyara. Iwe Chris, iwe chakadhindikira chii chachona imi munofamba tingoona zvese apa
vanoenda kuout kune vakadzi vasina mabhurugwa kunyeperwa usanzwe havana kukwana
ndisiyei zvangu ini
vanongoda kupa excuses munhu apfeka mataisi adii mukadzi akazotanga kupfeka mataisi nhasi
ndisiye zvangu ini ndaneta nekutaura ini mangwana ndichitaura for 3-4 hours.
I'm just going
to have a shower and then I'm going to go to sleep. You cannot get confused. Confusion sometimes is good for you.
No, but varume havaite confusion iri right. Vanenge vakunyama dzavo dzinenge dzakufamba. Do you know what I mean?
Men are all Tanaka's kids. Like they're like kids. You intentionally tease us with these fat sweet. Meno zvenyu ikoko. Memchimbotarisire chimemchimboire. For women. Ndezvevakadzi vasikononde nchotaura kuti single mothers. How are you over there? Single parents. Mambonzwa nchitanzi varume vevanhu. Where are you? So
anzi uyaiona iwo. Wonai uyamuzoona. Vanenge vachizoona chicha vanenge vachizoona.
Focus on the dance. Focus on the music.
Aiwa vanenge vachitarisa ipapo pakati papo pavanga vasingabvumidzwe ndipo pavanongotarisa kumaziso avo akaita sei uchaita showera. Go to sleep, please.
Top up my water for me. Okay, off you go. I know you like to show off. Off you go. That's enough. They've already seen enough of you. I'm getting into trouble with Gift right now.
Gift?
Yeah, top up my bottle.
Yes, because you didn't want me to come in.
Oh yeah, no, you can't come in. Off you go. I'll come to your room shortly. 5 minutes, I'll be there. Tanaka, 5 minutes. I'll top it up myself. That's fine. Thank you. I think I like to top it up myself.
Can I just sit here?
No, to your room, please. Go. I'll come and take you in 5 minutes. Off you go. Put on your pajamas. Tanaka, out. Thank you. Thank you. I'm coming. Varajo. Thank you, Mirizo. The next bachelor is Gift. Yes, that's right. Gift aruda Tanaka. Welcome back, Tanaka. Welcome back, Tanaka. We're going to send Tanaka to the UK to you. You were Gift. Tanaka, you were Gift. Gift is the next bachelor. No.
Gift, look at that. Where does he live? In England.
Where do you live? We are going to welcome back Tanaka. He is obsessed with Tanaka, this man, because he's got a daughter and he wants a son. Donation and I'll make one for him.
Jesus.
Gift. I need to gift. Wait, let me find him. DJ
in Scotland.
Eh?
It's in Scotland.
Yes.
Scotland. It's only 3 hours from my house.
My way. What are you doing, Mchaga? There's nobody. Hakuna munu.
Ina ndizve varume vanhu ndakarorwa zvangu ndine murungu wangu ina ndizve vanhu vatema.
He needs a little bit of TLC, my Givy. Give any vakadzi vakanaka kuScotland. Give animals it have 4. Givey has four names.
Why?
Ndizokuti maparents ake vakanga vafungei vachimupa mazita akawanda kudaro.
Yeah, some people, they all want to have a name to name the child. So.
Jaden or Jade or something like that. I can't even remember. But he's got so many names, man. Like, whoa. Nan's our next bachelor. Give you wakachinjireko maphotos akwe iwo. Okay. Give it Scotland. There we go.
Scotland. Yeah.
All right, I'm coming. Come on. No, Tanaka, can you come, please? Come on. Yeah, entertainer, you start getting ready, please. I'm coming. 2 seconds. All right.
Let's love you and leave you. When this vana kumunorara uku vana
vanonorara chimwari vana vanopesera kutinetsa panapa tinopesera takunetswa panapa
chireka kuti welcome Tanaka mani iwewe mwana aenda kunorara mani
mwana akutotadza kuvata nenyaya gift nyamuteya panapa imi kaimi topesera takutozoona fires panapa tozotandara
isisi kuna masikati kakunoko kwakutoita masikati sinei dinner time.
It's night time over here. It's night time over here.
But I'm going to bed now. I can't be bothered.
Are you working tonight?
No, they texted me, do you want to work? I said, are you kidding me? They're crazy.
We will gift to you. That's gift.
All right, gift.
DJ Ghetto Swag.
No, DJ Ghetto Swag.
What's going on? Everyone is swag. Exactly, chimbobvunza kuti baba vakasvika kuda vanoshaya mukadzi sei.
Kuzvida chete ndiko kunonetsa.
Anongwere ari kunyora here utano here. Yeah, there we go. Vanozvinzwa kani. Vanozvinzwa shuka. Hanzi ndinotapira, ndinozipa. Hanzi is the next bachelor. Uri kuona.
Oh my God.
Vakakutambira baba ivava. Vakakutambira baba ivava vanotamba zvimwe zvisingaiti.
Seriously.
My way. But ukavanzwa futi voice ravo paredio 3 p.m. 6 p.m. Saturdays unovawa baba iva vane sugar.
Saka vamukadzi aripi kana vane sugar vasikana varipi?
Vanowandisa saka no hanzi tembo samaita anotadza kusarudza one saka he prefers to just remain achita unge solo but iye achizoti is getting entertainment from so many. Anasamaita anasamazi yimi kani
anasamaita ndochi ichocho
meno kasamaita and I see inonzi chi zebra.
I've got no idea.
Yeah, ndi give. So guys, up moenda munoteerera voice ragive musi weSaturday muchamunzwa. Ndiri kukuudza broch patakatanga kurinzwa paradio patakatiri pamatest vakadzi vese vemuradio takati
ini ndoda Ben. Ini Ben is mine. Ini like me. Ben is mine. Ini Ben anondona gift is nina yangu. I'm sorry, it doesn't turn me on. No, I'm just exclusive, darling, exclusive.
And God knows our ngoyazoseka na 10:15 p.m. Anyway, ininda kurowa pasi guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much for listening.
Spoiler video ya benda utawatara sina basa pa.
Neither way Imi. We're going to come back na Ben chonyadze my essential oils, do you know what I mean? Inina Ben we've got lots in common and wakutozona
I know.
Badness.
Kwa hiyo wadi take over because inini nasi ndauya ndanisingade kuuya shamwari. Idzo dzadziri pajinja rekutaura nekudzidzisa ini nasi ndanchiti shamwari ndakaneta inini.
No, but I didn't know. I
spent the whole day looking for my wallet. I can't find my wallet. So ndaswera zuva rese ndirichokudza saka ndatobloka makadzi angu ese izvozvi just temporarily until I find it. If I can't find it within the next 24 hours, I just have to reapply for new cards for everything.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah, but it looks like no one is using anything. I think irimomba munomu somewhere. Kana kuti yadyiwa nemakonzo. Mune makonzo munomu. Ben is gone. wanonoka kuuya iwe Ben atoenda kudhara.
Ben haite African time. Ben is always on time. African time now. Is this not Ben atite African time ekuti 20 hours later vanhu vakuti sukusuka nzibane pano. Hey, apike.
Mamboiona here kuti tikaita malive munhu anopinda chitanzi. Pane pano. Hanzi pari kuitwa iko pano. Hanzi
pano wanga uripi. Vanga varipi. Isisi tikana tinopinda takutopinda. Vakazobatwa vasinogeza mai vavavo. Nenyaya yekuti African time.
Exactly. I'm always looking at that video and I'm cracking up laughing like seriously.
Vanopinda na 9. Because at 15:30, 9 o'clock is 9 o'clock, period.
Ndichakubata broch, ndichakubata.
Kana iri time ka hambofa kanibata. I choose kukam ndisina kugeza hangu. But kana iri timing. Papa hambofa kanibata. But never.
This is 2020. Nasi ndi 22 muswe Tuesday 2020 ndichakubata shit.
Inina time. Honestly, I obsess with time. It's actually mad. I obsess with time. My clients anga kutoziva ndikaenda pama client akatoti inini ndine 1 hour kana mbochitaura ka it's time out. That's it.
Broch wainzwa here hanzi vakadzi kuda kuvachena hanzi kuti we want white guys because moda kusukirwa nekutsvairirwa mumbaka.
Kuregere kutsvairirwa naenda kagara hangu makumbo mudenga. Inini I'm not a housewife, darling. I'm a career woman. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Makozho sha ndoda kutsvaga chinonzi chichirimbani. I need to find chirimbani. No, I'm joking. Ambenoka kana wallet yangu disappear mba. Kana maybe ndakaikanganwa patrol
nezi. Ndinotora wallet ketina kazvazvidoma izvi. Gozori ndinotora wallet. Ndakabekude. Asiyanaki one cash yake.
A personal wallet, it saves me a lot. It means no shopping.
No spending. I like it when I can't find my bank cards. Because in you spend yakaoma.
It means I can't go anywhere.
Why? Do you have to carry it all the time?
Yeah, we have to. Muno New Zealand ukamiswa usina driver's license you fine.
Ndiriponda pinda pano muchipinda muchendepi.
Infection control guys takutongotoronya Chris panapa is applying to be the next bachelor. Ndosati kukutaridza ipicture iyi.
Hanzi na Chris ndinyengeyo na gift uyu hanzi ndinyengeyo.
Mambo yangu show kwangu ku radio 54 months of voice because voice haina angwa give ndakatombopotsa ndatorwa moyo sha.
Ketina ka iwe udzisa uchazonyenga uri kunursing home ndizvo zvinopa kuti unyenga uri kunursing home.
I'm just being honest kauti voice like
oh my goodness,
comment section apa varida kuconnecta na broadcaster avo vari pava.
Pane nyaya yakaoma zvenyu Ketina. Hanzi Ketina she's going to propose when she's 90. Ari kunursing home ane red lipstick Ketina achitamba. Andimusa zvaanenge achitamba paredio ka. Ndo zvaanenge achita kunursing home anovharirwa nevanhu kuti mavisitors kana akuuya ka Ketina anenge akutotsamisa vakadzi vevanhu. Hanzi amai vanonyenga varume vedu muno nursing home. So that's not fair. Saka Ketina wika we're going to create a nursing home for herself and a future husband. Anenge ari kumaterraces uko. Ketina, it will be vice versa. You have to sit kumaterraces uko kana uri nursing home. You can't come in. So
when something came to my house today.
Wow.
No makeup for
who's
free.
Shopping?
Ndinongovigirwa kakunzanzi KC. Ndinovigirwa all these pampering kits every month. Kunzanzi wow. Since you were heartbroken and things happened to you last year, ndikuzoti nchange nchipampiwa for how long? Ndinongouya ndokunobva ma red lipstick aya anodhurai.
Well, that's good. Can you send me some? Ndombo ita contour. Inini natatenda takuita contouring.
It's contouring. I have no idea what some of these things are. And you know what?
Really? No, it looks like you've got a contour kit there. It's really quite nice, actually. It's got some nice
I have no idea.
Mm.
Complete face kit. Yeah, complete
Yeah.
face kit.
Oh, that is really nice. I like those colors. They're cute colors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever that is. Chakutumira ku UK. Chakutumira ku UK. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. Thank you so much.
Take a bag because you know makeup one, auntie.
My daughter will be coming to do my makeup and my hair every week. So as in
get out.
Oh my God. I've been working all night.
I've been working all night, Ketina. I choose once and say good night to Kunatanaka gift.
Vakagotaura vese katana katorerwa foni rimwe zuva so gift akunyengerera kuti but Casey ipa mwana foni eka. All right, ini ndakuenda ini.
Anyway, good night. Ini ndakuenda kunorara zvangu ini nangu ini I need my rest.
Oh, you can end wapedza kutaura na gift.
Okay, gift, good night my dear. Ini I'm going to sleep darling, okay? No. I was working in I'm a mental health nurse. I'm a night nurse, so I've been working at night. Bye, Majid. Bye, Jacqueline. Nice to see you. Have a good day, honey. Ben ayendaka Ben kwa kusiku Ben is 68, honey. Anoda kuenda kunorara. Isusu tisuvan vasingarara. Do you know? He doesn't do African time business. He's got things to do tomorrow morning. So he's gone and sleeping. Saka inini, I'm just like, yeah, good night. Have a nice one. A good day actually to you. It's a good day to you. Inini, I'm going to have a good night now. Thank you so much, guys. We love you. See you soon. Bye.